Hello and welcome to Reaction Shots for December. This month we're talking about some of our feel-good favorites. Kind of the opposite episode of Movies That Wrecked Us that we did a couple of months ago.
Yep.
In fact, we have the same guest, Matthew Walden.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm glad to not be wrecked anymore.
Yeah.
Last time here, I made a terrible mistake
did,
of
like,
marathoning awful movies that made me feel terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm glad this is a correction.
Yeah.
Course correction.
That's part of why I wanted to have you back, because I was like, I owe it to you.
Yeah.
I owe it to you to make you feel better. And of course, Michael Huber.
Hello.
The one, the only.
Hello.
But before we get into that, let's just talk real quickly about things that we've seen lately that we liked, or that were interesting, or that we hated. What the hell was that sound?
That was like a train. The
yeah.
train tracks around here?
Somebody stepped on like a semi's foot or something. Yeah. Anyway, Hubert, what have you seen lately? That
I saw
you
one movie in the theater a little bit ago. Widows.
Oh yeah.
I saw this as well.
I forgot about Widows.
saw
I
this
gotta
as
see it.
well.
Was it good?
Loved Widows.
It's so good. It's so good.
There's like one thing I can't talk about that I didn't like about it because it's a spoiler.
Okay.
Some payoffs at the end
Uh-huh.
of the film I wasn't quite feeling. I think maybe if I go back, like repeat viewing, I'll enjoy it more.
Okay.
But other than that one tiny little nitpick, like it's so good. Like when you're watching it, you know that you're watching a timeless movie. It's timeless.
I agree.
Like that movie will be good forever, or like 20 years from now, 30, like it will hold up. It's one of those types of movies.
I thought of you when I was watching.
Really?
Yeah, because I listened to your heist episode.
Yeah. Oh,
And I remember like you talking about it felt like Heat or something like
Yes.
that. It felt grand and classic.
Yeah.
And also, I can't wait for that hot dog gif. You know what I'm talking about. She comes out, fucking eats that hot dog, like looking like such a badass. That's not really a spoiler. Someone eats a hot dog and looks really cool doing it. So.
That's hard to do. It's tough to
She
pull
pulls it-
off.
Yeah, she does it. You're like, eat that hot dog.
Man, I gotta watch this movie.
Like,
mostly for
great.
the hot dog.
You know, and I
Yeah.
we talked about 12 Years a Slave, which is the
Steve
same
McQueen.
director, Steve McQueen, and how there's this little line at the end of the movie that got me where he's like apologizing.
Yeah.
There was a moment in Widows where it's like, oh shit, am I tearing up during Widows? I did not expect that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good. It's
dude.
good.
It was.
Enlighten me here though, because I thought it was a Gillian Flynn.
She wrote it.
But she wrote the novel, because I saw another book while I was at the airport that was called Widows, and it was like written by someone else, and it said
Really?
that the book that inspired the characters for Widows,
okay.
but it was in the nonfiction section.
The only thing I know is that it was like his
something.
passion project. Like he had been wanting to do it for a while, so maybe it was originally a book, but then
Okay.
she
Wrote the
wrote
screenplay.
the screenplay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think she's a bit of a genius.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Did you
With
watch
Sharp Objects?
Sharp Objects?
Yeah, holy
I
shit. And Gone Girl?
adore
Yeah.
Sharp Objects.
Yeah.
Dang.
She
Sharp
hasn't, wrote,
Objects.
she hasn't wrote a book in like a while, dude. Like
She doesn't need to.
Yeah.
She can do whatever she wants. She can do no wrong.
Yeah.
How many
So-
books has she written?
It's
like a lot,
I'm
right?
pretty sure 3, and then
not
she
that
came
one.
out with a
Not that
short
many.
story like a couple years ago, or like a year or two ago.
Hey.
And then
That's pretty
pretty
good.
much it. Yeah.
More books than I've written.
So Sharp Objects obviously got adapted on HBO, and then Gone Girl,
Yeah.
and then Dark Passage was like a straight to on demand with like Charlize Theron.
It's a satanic one.
And it
I heard it's not so
was-
good.
Oh.
I want to
Yeah,
read the
that-
book though.
Yeah, the book
Oh.
is good, but yeah.
Have you read all
Or
of
so
them?
I've heard. I have not read the book.
Yeah.
So-
Sources.
Sources.
Close to the
My
to the to the source. What how's that saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's been a long couple of months.
Straight from the source's mouth. I think
Yeah.
that's the quote.
Yeah. Don't
So-
look a gift source in the mouth.
So Widows, and then my internet's been down for a couple days, so I've just been watching some rom-coms that I'd never seen before. 10 Things I Hate About You, dude.
I love that movie.
Oh,
Fits in with this theme too, but
dude.
yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Dude!
I have not. My wife's a big fan of it, but I have
I
not
like
seen
it, dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's Taming of the Shrew, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Taming of the
Based on
Shrew.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's Taming of the Shrew.
And
I
Julia
love Heath Ledger.
Stiles is
Julia
so
Stiles.
good.
JGL. He recently.
He's so adorable in that
Well,
movie.
he just tweeted out. Apparently, it was 20 years ago. He tweeted out like continuity photos from the set or whatever. They're Polaroids of him looking like a little baby.
Yeah, he was a child. in this.
1998.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, we're all old.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Loved
that's a good
that.
movie, dude.
Feel good movie. Yeah, it was great. Loved everything about it. Then I watched Bridget Jones's Diary. I'd
never seen that one.
I've never seen that one. I didn't know that it was like a hard R romantic comedy. It's like
Do they just
very,
swear a lot,
Yeah,
or?
very vulgar.
Oh.
Mr. Tits Pervert.
Yeah. yep.
Oh,
I have a soft spot for Bridget Jones. I don't know if it's a good movie, but I like it.
I thought because I know there's 2 more.
yeah.
And I'd never seen it, but I thought the first one was really, really good. And I heard it's the best of the 3, but I thought it was great. Like
Bridget
Colin
Jones's
Firth.
Diary with a Vengeance is pretty good.
Part 2, she goes to Thailand and
Oh.
ends up in jail and trips on mushrooms. I'm not even joking.
Nice. Damn hyped. Yeah,
Dang.
I'm totally
What?
gonna like watch them all. Yeah,
I always go back
her
and forth
character.
on Renee Zellweger.
Mhm.
I don't know. Sometimes I like her. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
it's weird.
Cold Mountain, dude.
Cold Mountain.
Intense.
Didn't like her in Appaloosa.
Oh, I remember that one. That one was a filler.
Appaloosa,
Vigo
not a
was
great
good in
film.
it.
Yeah.
Sidekick.
Yeah.
Huge double barrel shotgun, if I remember. That's fitting. It's the only thing I can remember
only
from the
thing.
movie.
Anyway, anything else you saw that you liked? Any other rom-coms from the
Uh,
mid to late 90s?
I watched then Easy A was another one I watched. I've
Hey.
never seen that.
Our namesake.
Easy A. Yeah, I never even thought of that. I
Really?
didn't put it together.
When we first launched, a bunch of people were like, Emma Stone movie.
That's
I've never
hilarious.
seen it.
I like
assume
Easy
it's
A.
good.
Easy
Yeah.
A is good.
Yeah.
I like Emma Stone.
Yeah, it was solid. I didn't like it as much as 10 Things I Hate About You and Bridget Jones's Diary.
10 Things I
But-
Hate About You is a classic.
It is a classic.
Also, Knight's Tale. Watch that
Dude,
if you
Knight's
haven't.
Tale for sure.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, so some rom-coms. Then I watched Point Break today.
Oh,
Dope.
Hadn't
Keanu.
seen it in a few years, and it still holds up.
It's such a love story.
Yeah,
Talk about romantic comedies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about that, because I'd never seen it until like a year or two ago. That was the thing that surprised me the most about that. That like, there's the scene where they're like in bed together and she's asleep and he's just like stroking her like
Yeah.
neck or
Yeah,
back
looking
in
up,
like
yeah.
the most tender, loving way. And like that moment alone, I was just like, these are great characters. This movie's fantastic.
Oh, but him and Bodhi have the real
Oh,
love
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
Top 10 uneasy alliances.
Yeah. just kiss already.
That movie is so sincere.
Yeah.
It is.
Like it's just earnest.
Yeah.
They're really into waves.
Unabashedly
Yeah.
sincere.
And Catherine Bigelow is just a master at putting you there. Like that, she's so good at that. Every movie she's done is like, she loves POV, like a lot of first person in her movies, a lot of just like really close in their camera shots. And I was noticing that more actually with Point Break. So like during that foot chase through the
Yeah.
back alleys.
Oh, yeah,
When
yeah.
Swayze just throws the dog at Keanu. It's excellent. So that's pretty much every movie I've seen. And then I've been going through Alias,
Whoa.
the show. It's my eating show right now.
On DVD? Someone has them on DVDs?
I've just been getting them on Amazon. It's like,
Oh, okay.
it was like $12 a season.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So I've been feeling that. Like Beth really loved it back in the day. So just running out of eating shows because like, you know, you burn through that. Like
Yeah.
because we our routine is for lunch and dinner when we eat together is like sit down, you know,
Right.
kitchen or living room, whatever, get some food and then throw on our quote unquote eating show.
Yeah.
Which we have we juggle a couple like Current, Good Place and stuff.
Yeah.
But then our like main right now is Alias. So
you-
we've just
have you
been
watched-
burning through.
Have you watched Homecoming?
Not yet. It's high on our list though.
Yeah, I
So
watched
high on the list.
Eating show.
Yeah.
We threw it on, my roommate and I, as we were eating the other day, the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Weird show. I'm
Dude,
into it. It's
I wanna watch it.
crazy.
The 30-minute episode is a plus.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 26.
I was like, oh.
They're like
easy.
TV 30s.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So,
Anyway.
Alias, Jennifer Garner kicking
Alias.
major ass. Just so likable.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was comparing it, I don't know why, to Homeland. I guess because it's like CIA, you know? And I was just thinking in my head, like, I love that Jennifer Garner is like smiles a lot, you know? She like does intense shit, but
Yeah,
she's
no
like,
one is happy in Homeland.
yeah, Homeland is
Ever.
so depressing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Ever.
yeah.
She's got fun wigs. for all her disguises.
Yeah.
Like, here's a red
Wigs.
wig.
Love
here's
the
this,
red, the iconic red.
Yeah.
Like, she's
is
going to a
epic.
rave. She's got to, like,
Yep.
raver girl it up. It's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. This
So-
new costume. She has more costume changes than, like, a Prince concert.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Every
it's
episode,
really
it's
fun.
like, all right,
yeah.
what's she gonna pull this time?
Yeah.
So just a really fun show. A lot of so many people pop up.
Oh,
too. I
yeah.
mean, Bradley Cooper's in there. John Locke is in there. Like
Terry O'Quinn.
Justin Theroux showed up as a villain for
what?
a couple episodes. Like,
Funny.
it's so funny just seeing all these people pop in and out.
You know what else John Locke's in? Patriot.
Patriot, I know.
Oh, do you mean that show you've always been recommending that I watched? The show Patriot.
This is a
the
true
hilarious
friend.
show on
This is
Amazon.
a true friend.
It's on you.
You know what? Get off the show, Huber. You're on every episode now. No.
It's got Patriot
Did
has
you
some
love it?
excellent attaché humor.
Yes.
That really got
Yes.
me. I was into
So
it.
you're
for
in
that.
season 1 still, or have you watched
just
season
the
2?
pilot. Just the pilot.
Oh, yeah, okay,
But
great.
like, it sold me. I laughed out loud 15 times. I think you
Yeah.
need to pitch how funny it is.
It's
stronger.
funny.
It's really funny.
It's
a
funny.
funny show.
It's also like one of the most poignant and sad shows I've ever seen.
Dang.
So it's
So I love when
it's
they
truly
get
an
that
incredible
balance.
show.
I'm not
Damn
doubting
it.
you.
Solid recommendation. Like, I'm
There's
sold.
zero
I'm so
doubt.
happy to hear you say
It's
that.
just a matter of time.
I'll tell my roommate because he was the one. I didn't believe him. So I was the
I've
Huber of
always
this-
believed you.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
all right.
really,
100%.
It's wacky. The tone's so strange, but
It's-
funny. And it's
yeah.
got John Locke from Lost in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who
Yeah.
taught me how to throw knives. Not personally. I just watched a lot of behind the scenes footage of him throwing knives.
For Lost or
For
what?
Lost, yeah. I was
Okay.
working on Lost on like the bonus features.
Oh,
So I
shit.
watched a lot of him just practicing how to throw knives. And then I went to like a Renaissance fair and they had a knife throwing contest. And I walked up like, I got
problem.
this. And I won. I won
Oh.
the knife throwing contest. And I felt like such a badass, but it was all because of John Locke's
All
tips.
because of
Yeah.
Terry
What a
O'Quinn.
knife
I didn't know I had it
throwing
in me,
contest.
but
Whatever his name.
It's badass.
I was so proud. They put me up on a stand, and like it was like a wooden stand. Like, here's the winner of the knife throwing contest. It was the only masculine thing I've done in my life.
Sure.
Everything else.
You know
was
what? As
never
far
reached that high.
as far as those go, that's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Your life, dude. I love hearing about your
Knife
life.
throwing.
Oh boy, yeah. that makes one person.
Whoa. What have you seen anything recently that you like?
Yes, last night I watched one of my favorite movies of the year. I watched The Favorite, which is
Stealing mine, but yes.
You saw it
Yes,
too?
I saw it.
Oh, great. We can talk about it. Did you like it?
I
It's
loved
so
it.
good. It's so good. It's the best Lanthimos movie.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I
And
like.
Easy A's, Emma
really-
Stone's in it.
Yeah.
I really liked The Lobster, but yeah, this one I liked more.
Oh, it's Lobster Director?
Right?
Yeah.
Dogtooth, The Lobster. This
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Killing of a Sacred Deer. Then
This is
this.
his best one. This
Yeah,
is him like
yeah.
graduating.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
It's a perfect marriage of his like off kilter tone without being like. It never gets like bogged down or loses the thread. I
Oh
think.
god, I've never seen a period piece move so fast. That
Yeah.
camera is like zooming through this castle, and
But
like,
it also,
cuts,
like-
and it's so funny and sarcastic.
It's very funny.
yeah.
But it takes its
Hilarious.
time too. Like there are some very lengthy shots of just like a person's face, but you're
Yeah.
feeling it. You know,
Sick.
Lots of
Uh,
rabbits. If you like rabbits,
yeah.
there's rabbits all over this movie.
we
Hopping
got
everywhere.
the show for you.
Yeah, it's good.
I
I
love
recommend it
it.
to everybody. You don't
Yeah.
need to like
I
period
love it.
pieces. You just
Yeah.
like really like sarcastic, hilarious punchlines. Like people
Yeah.
like very wittily playing off of each other.
Dude,
It's got Milla from Broadchurch or Milla.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Olivia
Colman.
Oh,
Coleman.
Olivia Colman. Yeah, she's so good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is her role completely.
She's out of control as Anne. The dance sequence is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I was not expecting that.
I did
it's
not.
like Breaking 2's style dancing. It's not from the 1600s.
Yeah,
They're like
it's like-
flipping around
yeah.
and doing crazy
Oh,
shit.
and it's just so
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah.
And it just comes out of nowhere.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh my god, the favorite. How goes the kingdom?
Oh, the other thing I saw,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to give a disclaimer because these are all my friends who made this movie.
Okay.
Including somebody who's on my podcast with me.
Nice.
But I saw If Bill Street Could Talk
Oh,
this
okay.
week. It's
Never heard
Barry
of that.
Jenkins' new movie, the follow-up to Moonlight.
Yeah.
And I liked it better than Moonlight. And I'm obviously super biased because I like all the people who made it.
Right.
So take that with a grain of salt. But I think it's just he's staking a claim as like, I'm going to be one of the big directors now. When you talk about the biggest directors in America, I don't know who
Yeah.
comes to mind. You think of like Paul Thomas Anderson
Yeah.
or Catherine Bigelow or like, the big artsy
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Totally.
But this is it. Like he's like on a path. He's going to be around making movies for a while. I feel like
Nice.
after this.
And you're
because there's
friends
like
with him?
My wife is really close friends with him.
Oh,
She
cool.
went to film school with a bunch of people involved in that movie.
Oh,
And the
wow.
assistant editor's on my podcast.
Oh, cool.
So totally biased because they're all like friends. But I loved it.
Plug
It's-
your podcast real quick.
Oh, I do a podcast called Better Than Speed.
Better than Speed.
And it's about the Keanu Reeves movie Speed.
Yeah.
And we compare the entire catalog of classic world cinema, like black and white important movies like Casablanca, and we compare them with Speed and take a vote if they're better or worse.
And you have to-
Excellent.
you have to
Yeah.
I'm
say if
so
it's better
glad
or worse.
because we
Yeah.
are definitely going to be talking about
We've only found
Speed
one movie
tonight.
better than Speed.
Oh, really?
Only one.
Which one?
Uh,
or is it spoiler?
Le Corbeau,
Whoa.
which is
I have not seen
Le
it.
Corbeau is
Clouseau
not
movie
bad.
from around World War II.
I've never seen it. I've
It's
never
out
even heard of
print.
that.
You can't find it. That's
So no one can prove
yeah,
you
no,
wrong.
exactly.
It's like trying to watch Soderbergh's Kafka in America. You just basically can't.
Kafka-esque.
I like that movie a lot.
The only reason I know who Kafka is because they mention it in Breaking Bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I've said this before, I think, but my senior quote in high school is an entire Kafka story.
What?
Yeah.
How do they print that?
I never told you this? I swear to
No.
God I've said this before on
How do
something.
they print it?
Well, it's a short one. It's
Oh,
something like
okay.
I don't whatever. It's a mouse
Got it.
running into a corner, and he's like, alas, the walls have come into a corner so
Yeah.
fast, and there in the corner lays the trap I must run into. And then a new quote, it says, you only have to change your direction, says
Yeah.
the cat, and ate it up. And
That's the most
story.
Ian story I've ever heard. Of course, that's your yearbook quote.
My wife is
I've always
so,
been a total bitch.
My wife is so much cooler than me, dude. She was like reading Kafka last night because we have no internet. So she's like going through all of her old books.
That's what you do, yeah.
And she read the one where the guy turns into a bug.
Metamorphosis, yeah.
Dude, she told me that, and that freaks me out.
It's a
like
weird
the
one.
fly and stuff, and like bug people, dude. Get it away from me.
The Fly is so good.
I was
by
like
the way.
getting freaked out. But
You should read it. It's quick. It's good.
Yeah. She's so much cooler.
Probably
than me.
there's like an audiobook of Christopher Walken like reading it or something. I'm listening right now to, my sister recommended this series of books to me, the Abhorsen series. The first one's called like Sabriel, I think. I'm listening to it, and it's read by Tim Curry.
Nice.
So I'm just like, this is crazy. Tim Curry's just reading me a book right
That's cool.
now. Anyway, anything else that you saw recently that you
I've been
liked?
watching Killing Eve. I
Oh.
wanted to see that forever.
Yeah,
and
I've
it's,
heard that's
it's
really
finally
good.
on Hulu.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have enough money to pay for like $40 to watch a TV show.
Right.
But now it's on Hulu. It's amazing. It's
I've heard it's
really,
so
really
good.
good. I didn't realize it was mostly about a psychopath.
Oh.
It's this woman assassin who is totally crazy and she loves to kill people because it's fun. And she happens to be like a hit woman assassin. But Sandra Oh is trying to track down this very versatile assassin, kind of like a Nightcrawler vibe, just the sort of like psychopath who like has that thing in the eyes, that
Yeah.
like evil thing where they look through you, but she's also
Yeah.
like really charming and funny. And you're like, I shouldn't be laughing at her murdering these people, but
Oh,
she's
man.
so good at it. And she's having so much fun. Like, bless her heart, she's enjoying it.
Bless her.
She's got a path in life.
She knows what she wants.
Yeah, it's good to have a colleague.
It's great. It's as good or better than everyone's saying.
Wow.
I'm on
Nice.
board with Killing
I'll have
Eve.
to add it to
Yeah.
the list.
How about you?
Never-ending list.
Well, you saying that made me think of this. I saw most of the first episode of The Alienist,
Nice.
which is funny because the show tweeted at me a while
I remember that.
back. I was so
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched it on the plane. It was pretty good actually. I don't know. I liked the colors mostly.
I watched the first one and then fell
Yeah,
off because there's so many
There's
things.
too many things, but good acting in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Brol. What's his face?
I don't know.
Damien Brol, maybe his name is, or he's in Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah,
Baron
yeah.
von
yeah,
Zemo.
yeah.
Love that
The main
actor.
guy, yeah.
And he was
the
in that-
Alienist.
He was in that race movie. With,
about like cars or about like
yeah,
interracial
No,
relationships.
race cars with Hemsworth.
Mm.
Do you remember that one? What's that movie? Anyway, it had that actor. I love that actor.
He's a good
He,
actor.
like just whenever he pops up.
He always plays like a weird creepo, and I like it.
yeah, I'm super here for it.
But yeah, the favorite is my favorite thing that I've seen lately. I mentioned it before the thing, but I listened to it like 8 times today. Aurora did a cover of God as a Woman, and I really like it. It's not a movie. It's a song.
Who is Aurora?
She's a Norwegian singer.
Nice.
She did like Running with the Wolves as her big song. I think one of her.
Is her real name Aurora.
Maybe.
I like that.
I think so. Aurora, like Askness or something.
Nice.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. And then The Good Place. I just watched the new episode of The Good Place.
They took like a month off.
They
and
were
then they're
off.
Gonna have, okay, I haven't
They were
watched the
off
newest
for like
one.
a hot minute, and then it came back yesterday.
And then it's off for
and
another.
then it's
going to
be off until like
Yeah.
January. So I was like, why did you take
Yeah.
that weird gap? Maybe there was football or some crap. I don't know.
I haven't
what time
watched
of year
that
it
one.
is.
It's called like Janet, right? Janet.
Yeah, Janet's.
I haven't seen that one.
The weird thing about The Good Place, to me, it's a great, really funny show, is one of the writers and creators of it. God, forgive me for not remembering his real name, but when I used to write for Destructoid way back in the day, when Destructoid first started,
dude, sick.
he was on the forums as like a really popular forum member, just like
Really?
a kid. His name was like Electro Lemon, and everybody fucking loved him because he was like funny and had a great personality. But I think he was like 12 years old or something
so
like
rad.
that. And now like I'm feeling really old
Yeah.
to
Oh my
watch him
gosh.
like
Yeah.
just have stratospheric success.
We're
and
like
turn out to
old
be an amazing
failures,
writer.
yeah. Like, oh, man.
But good for him.
No, I'm
Congratulations.
thrilled. The
I'm
Good Place
sure
is
he's
great.
watching us now.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Thanks, Electro Lemon. Good show.
It got renewed for season 4. I just saw.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good because
I feel like 4 should maybe be the end.
I think
like-
they said 4 is the end. Maybe I feel
Okay.
like that sounds like something they've said, but maybe not.
Cool.
But it should be.
Yeah.
Because
It's getting there.
it seems like a show that has a plan and needs to stick to the plan and then be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, Janet's the most recent episode. I won't say anything, but probably my favorite episode of this season for sure.
I love
Like
Janet.
far and away.
I love Janet.
Because this season's been like
okay,
not
yeah,
great.
I agree.
I
agree.
And this episode is where it's like I'm very excited for the latter half of this season.
Cool.
Um,
That's good to hear.
yeah. Probably there's other stuff I saw, but let's get into the topic. So yeah, as we said earlier, we're talking about some of our favorite feel-good flicks, films.
First one we got to talk about is Speed, but
Let's talk about Speed. Let's just skip everything. Talk about Speed for a hot minute.
So that's an interesting choice for a feel-good movie. As
Yeah.
someone who loves Speed and it makes me feel good, it's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Speed, because for me personally, I had the VHS. I'm sure you.
As did we all.
As
yeah.
did we all. And my dad still to this day quotes, "Way to go, Jack. Way to go." My dad just will bust that quote out. It's just
Apropos of nothing.
apropos of nothing. It's just one of those movies that just,
Dads like Speed.
Dads
for
like
sure.
Speed.
For sure.
My brother likes Speed. It's
You
just,
like Speed.
I like Speed. It's just
You
one of
bust
those-
out cans for like
Cans,
almost no reason.
cans,
It was
dude.
just cans.
It's-
Like all the time.
all the time. It's just so quotable. It's just a legendary movie that I grew up with, so I think that's why it's so like cozy for me. It's just one of the ones I watched more than any other movie ever. It's in the top of my most watched movies.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I saw it as a kid, and I immediately wanted to become like a bomb diffuser. I wanted to be in a bomb squad, and I read all up about it as a kid. I didn't follow that dream.
Did you diffuse
But I
have you
do it in
diffused any
VR.
bombs?
I do it in VR
Yeah, I was
now.
gonna say,
that
do you
keep
play Keep Talking and
yeah,
all these
yeah,
songs?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just as fun as I
Now on the
imagined, yeah.
Switch. I was like that with Twister. I wanted to be. Well, first I wanted to be a
wanna be a storm
paleontologist,
chaser?
and then I wanted to be a storm chaser, and then I was like, I should just be in movies or something. I don't get to do it all.
Yeah.
Speed.
Speed. Sandra Bullock is such good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Love Sandra Bullock. And Keanu Reeves. Like, I think any Keanu Reeves movie by nature is feel good.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's just so
I'm trying to think of
He's
like
affable. He's really,
he's
really
so
friendly.
affable.
Well, and you just know he's like the sweetest heart.
Exactly. You know he's the sweetest guy, and it's just
I'm trying to think of a non-feel good one. Maybe that Knock Knock one. I never saw
I
it.
never saw that one.
Ooh, Neon Demon. He
Oh,
plays
he's in that?
a
He's in Neon
horrible
Demon?
creep in Neon Demon.
I
Like,
started it. I
Give
started
me,
Neon.
like goosebumps, like gross dude.
Oh, well.
I have
Yeah,
not seen
yeah,
Neon
yeah.
Demon yet.
I
Damn it.
started Neon Demon at like 1 a.m, and I was like, it's too late for a tone poem. I need to start this at like 7.
I dislike Neon
I've
Demon.
heard it's not very good.
And then maybe part of that is seeing Keanu Reeves be so icky. Yeah,
Please tell me
yeah.
what a tone poem is.
have you ever seen the show Legion?
Yes.
That's a tone poem where it's like more about the mood and
Got
just
it.
colors and sounds and shots than like
Okay.
progressing a story.
Got it.
You know,
Got
like the
it.
Werkmeister harmonies.
I don't know.
There's
what
a
that
drop.
is.
Have you seen that?
No, not at all.
Yo. Oh God, I'm blanking on the director right now. Forgive me, but it's like a 3.5 something hour movie with like 11 shots in it.
Oh, that sounds up my alley.
Yeah,
That's the
you
kind
would
of shit
love it.
I watch.
You would love it. Like back in my
if it sounds obnoxious,
Oh
I
yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
like it.
Oh, you would love it. I actually
does sound
saw
obnoxious.
it back in my like rambunctious college years. I went to a midnight screening of Verkmeister Harmonies. Got out at like 3:30 a.m.
I will match that pretentiousness and say that I did the midnight show for Enter the Void.
Whoa.
There we go.
I've been waiting for a theater of that one because I never saw it. Because I heard it. You want to see it in a theater so that the like weird earthquake tones
Yeah.
give you
The
nausea while
audio.
watching it.
For sure.
Yeah. I watched
only
the
saw it
first
once.
like couple of minutes of Love and I was just like, all right.
It was okay.
Seemed fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I saw it in 3D at a theater.
Love?
Full of people, and you're all really, really next to each other.
Yeah.
And like I'm a modern guy. I'm cool.
Yeah.
But like watching pornographic stuff
Yeah.
where there's like stuff coming at you,
lot of
like bodily
thrusting,
fluids
yeah.
towards
Yeah,
the
yeah,
screen,
yeah.
and you're just like right here with some buddies. It's like an intimate experience.
It is. I saw it with some close friends.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's one of those movies I never need to see again, you know?
Love or Into the Void?
Enter the Void.
Enter the Void. I mean.
These
Yeah,
are
yeah.
not heartwarming films.
No,
we're
not
talking
at
about.
all.
Yeah,
No. Let's talk about Irreversible. No, yeah. So Solo,
100
heartwarming
Days of
film.
Sodom. Yeah.
Movie sucks. Movie sucks.
What movie?
Solo, 120 Days of Sodom. It's just everyone said it's like top of the list of like most messed up movies of all time, and
Oh,
really
okay.
it's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they eat poop in it. Oh, there's a lot of nudity and torture. It's like, okay, yeah, but
It's funny.
I get it. It's like the regime, but like,
That's a conversation for another episode, but like, it's funny. I always find the most disturbing stuff the more restrained. You know?
Right.
When
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
things go so hardcore, it's
put
like
it up in your brain.
it loses it. Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of Sandra Bullock,
Yeah.
a book I read, Bird Box.
Mm-hmm.
They made a movie out of it,
What the hell is
starring
Bird
Sandra Bullock.
Box?
It's coming out in December this month. Coming out this month
It's
on
called Bird
Netflix.
Box.
Yeah, it's because I remember reading it and I was trying to think because usually when I'm reading something I'm like, okay, how would you make this movie? And this one is tough because the premise is there's some kind of terror happening where if you see it, you go psycho, kill everyone around you, and then yourself.
Whoa.
It's
like
like
The Ring.
something that you see that makes you go crazy.
The Ring style.
Kind of. It's not like you'll die in 7 days. It's just like, hey, right now you're crazy. You're going to try to harm as many people as you want before you die.
Sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, yeah. But I was like, how do you film a movie about things that you never see in the book, like that you can't show, you know? Because if you show it, then you die or whatever.
Just show
So we'll
someone's face.
see.
Like,
Yeah. Well, so it's all about like sound stuff, and it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Whoa.
So who knows? There are a few lines in the trailer where I'm like, all right, they're spelling it out a little more. I think they went like with a sphere kind of or a Event Horizon kind of mode with it, where it's like it becomes your greatest fears. It's like a boggart, but like yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Anyway,
Harry
Bird
Potter.
Box, Harry Potter, dude,
Talking about
feel good films.
Good.
Well, 3.
The first 3 for sure.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
3.
But all of them, because like I think one of the most feel good for me is like school dramas, you know,
Sure.
and I kind of throw in Harry Potter into that.
Sure. why
So
not?
like Stranger Things, feel good.
How about this? You want me to just like list a huge list of
Yeah, let's
things?
go. Start us
And
off.
I'm a thumbs up or thumbs down as you read them.
okay. Yeah, and if anything
Visual, I'll give you a
if
visual.
anything jumps
representation.
out, if anything jumps out too that you want to speak about, like just let me know. Also, we had a lot of comments this month from the patrons. Patreon.com/easyallies, $7 and up. You're in the film club, and you get comments on the topic a week or two in advance. And everyone's comments were super good this month. I'm gonna try to get to everybody, but there were a lot, so we might not. So forgive me in advance if I don't read your comment. Okay, here we go. Lightning speed. I'm gonna read this list of feel-good movies. Some of them I put in. Tokyo Slim had a really good
I thought you were gonna say Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo
That's
Drift.
2 thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So these are mine, and then Tokyo Slims. And if I miss any,
Okay.
well, some other people might have said them. But okay, Princess Bride, Back to the Future, As Good as It Gets, Father of the Bride Part 2, Les Miserables. That's a weird
Les
one.
Miserables, yeah.
My sister and I are wired wrong, and like as kids, we would just watch the Liam Neeson non-musical Les Miserables all the time.
Nice.
Very weird.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
mean, that warms your heart.
Yeah. We just felt good. Same with As Good as It Gets. I think I just felt seen, you know?
Love as good as it gets.
Like I'm French. I'm real sad.
Great.
I steal a lot of bread. I'm not French. Galaxy Quest, Emperor's New Groove, The Incredibles, Ocean's 11, 8, and 13. Star Trek: The Next Generation TV show, Futurama. And then Tokyo Slim added It's a Wonderful Life, Amelie, Shawshank Redemption, Princess Bride again, Big, Back to the Future, Karate Kid, Wizard of Oz, not Return to Oz, although I love Return to Oz. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, Groundhog Day, Ghostbusters, The Goonies, Wedding Singer, Willow, Toy Story, Pleasantville, Field of Dreams, Cool Runnings, American Tail, that's a sad one, Hearts Beat Loud, and Sing Street, which I still haven't seen.
Sing Street.
You've recommended to me.
Yes.
Sing Street is
Yes.
Sing Street is to me as Patriot is to you. Fape says National Treasure. Katie Garza, one film that always lifts my spirits is The Sound of Music. Something Good is a song I connect to on a spiritual level and really encapsulates the feeling of romantic love between imperfect humans. I've shortened some of these. If you're on Patreon, go check out the comments. They're great. Stephen Beaumont, I almost said Belmont. Simon Belmont writes in and says, I absolutely love The Emperor's New Groove, but the film that instantly comes to mind is Ponyo. That film is happiness incarnate. I find that a lot of the Studio Ghibli films are like this, although some of them inexplicably make me really sad.
Yes, and I want to hone in on that because it makes me think of Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy is like the ultimate movie for me when I really need to be lifted up because it's about just like chasing your dreams and succeeding.
Yeah.
But it's still like there's moments in that movie that are so sad and like I cry every time and it's iconic tears of happiness, but also just like, it's emotional. I'm crying right now. Like I'm happy, but I'm still crying. So
I like movies
Studio
where
Ghibli
they chase their dreams and don't succeed, and then it still has a way of communicating that their life was worthwhile.
Yeah,
because that cheers me up. Because
Yeah.
like there's some movies that are like almost too happy to see them get everything, and I'm like, sure, you're happy. I'm over here fucking trying. But like Ed Wood is, Johnny Depp's kind of like troubling, but Ed Wood is about this kind of shitty director and how much his friends mean to him and what his life was like making these shitty movies. But he had like friendship and he was doing something he enjoyed, and it's kind of like sweet and endearing. Sometimes seeing those like non-success stories.
Yeah, I like Rudy because it's a good balance where like. He makes it, but only for those last two plays. That's it. Like
I don't like basketball, so I never saw it.
Football.
I know.
That makes me think of one. Have you seen We Are the Best? It's a Swedish movie.
I feel like I've heard of this.
Moodyson is a director who did Lilia Forever, which is so depressing. But We Are the Best is about Swedish punk rockers in junior high.
I heard about this.
The three punk rock girls, and they have a band, and they go to battle of the bands. Anyway, their hit song is called Hate the Sport. And they like sing about how much they hate sports. But that is a really heartwarming movie about like just like rebellious punk rock girls. And it was like so much my middle school experience. If you want to know what I was like in 8th grade, you just watch We Are the Best.
That's like Lady Bird.
It's such
Lady
an
Bird. She
movie.
graduated high school the same year I graduated high school, so it was like very much in that.
That's intense.
Tokyo Slim actually had a very similar comment to what you just said. Movies like Cool Runnings and Rocky 1, where at the last minute the movie pulls the hope of a tangible emotional victory out from underneath you and gives you a moral victory in exchange, are hard work to make work. But when they work, they work. Work. Which I agree with. It's almost like more powerful. Yeah. If they lose but win a different fight that they didn't even know they were fighting, you know?
Totally.
Let's see here.
Adrian! So epic.
Dominic Barlow says the ocean films are total uppers. A lot of great heist films are like that, like Heat, Rafifi, Baby Driver. They want to show you bitter fallout of the main character's crime, but the Ocean's gang always get away with it with total panache, which is its own kind of emotional nourishment. I agree. Those are always really feel-good movies for me, the Ocean's movies.
Definitely.
Ozzy Pineapple. When I was younger and horror movies used to have more of an effect on me, I would generally try to watch some comedy when a scary film was over. I still do that. Something to make me laugh after being traumatized by Freddy or Jason or a bunch of aliens. I can't think of a better film to uplift the spirits than Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The opening scene alone would usually do the trick, but then you get sucked in, and it's the best thing ever. There's no way this movie will not make you feel all warm and bubbly. Did either of you see The Man Who Invented Christmas? I didn't see it. That's Dan Stevens as Charles Dickens, I believe.
Nice.
Well, Jesse Abraham says that they watched it, and I'll paraphrase just for the sake of time, but like they said it was really good and that it was cool because it starts in a period where everything is so depressing, and then through that inspires him to create this cool story, and it sounds good. I don't know. I like Dan Stevens. I haven't seen Apostle yet. My sister saw it and said it was upsetting, but he's in that. I like him from Legion.
Good director, dude. Gareth Evans did it.
Oh, really?
Or Edwards? Gareth Edwards or Gareth Evans? Gareth Evans?
Edwards?
Edwards?
I still haven't seen Hold the Dark either.
I haven't seen anything. None of it.
Ever.
Like this year.
I hear Roma's incredible. I haven't seen that.
Roma. God.
I know.
Forgot Roma was
Put the hood
out.
up. Put the hood up.
Seriously. How am I even on a movie podcast right now?
How are any of us on a movie podcast?
I haven't seen a damn thing.
Also, you pointed out. Tell them the thing.
Oh yeah.
About
Check this out. Check this out. It's a reveal.
For listeners at home, I'm sorry, but
We got gray hoodie. We've got jean jacket. Then we've got gray hoodie and jean jacket. Not coordinated.
Yes.
not coordinated. We did not talk.
We're on the same wavelength.
Also, his T-shirt is blue. My jean jacket is blue, and our T-shirts are black. So it's like.
And there's like white here and white there.
Yeah, you're the combination of both of us. Also, very cool shirt.
Oh,
very
thank
cool.
you.
Princess Mononoke shirt.
And my underwear is gray. How's our underwear doing? Are we matching?
I think mine's white.
Gray.
White with
Gray?
blue.
Mine's
Oh,
purple.
Look at that.
Mine's purple.
Statement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
like
have
that.
a lot of I don't wear a lot of blacks usually.
Can I throw one out here?
Throw it out.
The ultimate feel-good movie of all time, for me,
Yeah.
Aliens.
Okay.
Me
yeah.
too. If
Aliens is great.
Yes.
If I'm sick,
Yes.
if I have like the flu,
Yes.
if something bad happened in my life, I put on Aliens and I
Yes.
start giggling.
Yes.
Those aliens are like dropping down from the ceiling. I'm like, there's so many aliens, and I forget whatever's going wrong.
I don't know if I giggle, but I'm just
Yeah.
loving it.
Yeah,
It's
me
my
too.
favorite movie.
When Burke goes down, it's great.
When's that Burke prequel coming out?
Burke. We were talking about how the new Alien game should just be you play as Burke, Paul Reiser's character,
Burke Carter J.
just being an asshole.
Corporate sellout.
Yeah.
There's that dude at every job, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like every job, there's that Paul Reiser corporate sellout where you're
Who,
like,
like-
what's your deal, man?
Who will like betray you
Yeah.
to a bunch of aliens to make a buck.
Yeah.
Except
Easy Allies has
no
one.
spoilers. He gets
just
he gets his comeuppance.
It's
in
so
Aliens.
Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah.
It's so Resident Evil, dude, trying to
I love
steal
it.
these bioweapons.
Crew expendable.
Yes.
In the first one. Ugh.
That's the thing too, is like, I don't know what it is about Aliens versus Alien. I'm not saying which one is better. We're not even going there.
Alien.
But Aliens is just a little more cozy.
Yeah.
A little more easier to watch. You know, it feel good for me.
It's
Whereas
an action film.
Yeah, whereas Alien 1 is like, yo, this is intense. Like I gotta be in a different mindset when I throw Alien on.
Yeah.
Is it just because maybe it's slower paced?
I mean, it's
Aliens has such a snappy pace
it's a
compared
suspense movie. I think.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know if it's a horror movie. I told you my Aliens story, right?
No.
When I moved to LA, I was getting over like a bad breakup. I was kind of just like really depressed. I drove by myself in the first car I ever owned.
You did
across.
know this.
Yeah. You might not know this. You listeners at home, I'm sure you've heard this before. But Aliens basically like kept me sane because it was the weirdest thing. Because every time I would get to like my like crappy $20 motel for the evening in like whatever state I was in over like the 5-6 days that I took to drive over here, because I was like looking at monuments and stuff, Aliens was always on. Love this. And it was the funniest thing because I always got all the stuff out of my car and into the room at the moment I had fallen asleep the previous night through the whole movie.
Oh, so you had to continue the story.
I had a continuous
It's
watch
so
of
awesome.
Aliens over my entire drive. It was so funny because like I got there the first night at the very beginning. I was like, awesome, I'm gonna watch Aliens. This is perfect. And I fell asleep after like half hour, whatever. The next night, exactly where I'd left off, and like that for 5 days. It was great. Kept me going.
So epic.
Aliens.
That's so interesting. I thought I was the only one who used that as kind of like a cheer up, like warm, comforting movie.
yeah.
And my wife always looks at me like,
I thought I was the only one.
I
too.
love you, but I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, why is this movie cheering you up? But
Dude,
yeah, it really
that's
does.
awesome.
We were talking
I
about
love
Running
this.
Man the other day. That's kind of a weird, feel good like.
Arnold.
I watched it all the time as a kid.
So many Arnold movies.
Yeah.
Because he's just got that humor.
Yeah.
Where it's like a super intense subject matter, but he always will just throw some puns out there to just lighten the mood, Stick around. It's like 100 of them.
I recently watched is it Movies with Mikey? It's some YouTube video. I think it was Movies with Mikey. It's called Eulogy for Batman and Robin. That's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, right? Or is that
Batman and
Batman
Robin?
Forever? Yeah, Batman and Robin.
Oh, you mean
Batman
it
and
was Mr.
Robin.
Freeze?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Winter
yeah,
Freeze,
yeah,
chill.
yeah,
Ice
yeah.
cold, yeah.
I recommend that video because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I only knew a couple of them, but like the LED lights in his mouth that he only has in some of the scenes, like I don't know, they didn't have the technology at the time. The batteries kept being corroded by his saliva and like leaking battery acid into his mouth, and like yeah.
In real life, not a plot
In
point
real
of the
life,
movie.
That's freaky.
And like they just kept doing it over and over. And like all kinds of crazy production stuff. Like that movie should not exist.
I need to watch that again. It's been
you?
Yeah,
That movie
purely,
is
it's terrible.
a train wreck,
It is,
but it is the greatest.
Yeah, it's
I
been
love
too
that
long.
stupid movie. It's insanity.
The
Both of those.
It's Batman Forever first, and then
I
Batman and
think
Robin.
So yeah,
I remember
Batman
Forever is Tommy Lee Jones.
and Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
then
God,
this
and
one
that
is
terrible
just
Seal
totally
song.
insane.
That
Oh yeah.
Kissed by a Rose.
You
from
mean
the
that
grave.
incredible
I
Seal
can't fucking
song?
stand that song. That's
Speaking
one
of-
of my least favorite songs.
speaking
Sorry,
of
Seal.
incredible music numbers, speaking of Seal, shifting gears to Vanilla Ice. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, part 2?
Two,
Both of them.
Two
But
is the
two-
ultimate
two is
feel
my
good.
ultimate, yeah.
One is intense as hell, rated R. It's not, but it should be because it's so dark and intense.
Yeah.
It really
But-
is. Raphael swears.
Yeah.
What does
I
he
thought
say?
that was so cool. Just
Damn.
damn. But I was in third grade.
Oh, I remember that.
This is
that. He
aging
goes,
myself.
"Damn."
He's like, damn.
Yeah.
Casey Jones.
We must be
Yeah.
around the same age, I think. Because that was, yeah.
You know, Ninja Turtles have been on my mind a lot lately.
Yeah?
I've
Why?
been playing a lot of Japanese visual novels. They're like dating sims.
Cool.
And then I was thinking they need to have a Ninja Turtles dating sim where you play as April O'Neil.
Oh,
you get to date all the Ninja Turtles, whichever
Yeah.
one you choose. You can date Casey Jones. You can even date Splinter, find out his tragic backstory. Shredder killed his wife.
Whoa.
But anyway, you know how that game...
Is that real or are you
I'd
just
feel
No, that's
so
real.
bad.
Yeah.
I would feel so bad though if I was April and I picked one of the turtles.
That's the beauty.
You know,
about
that would cause such a rift.
I think the
Between-
canon ending is she just is friends with all of them.
Yeah, friends, and then
Yeah.
Casey Jones. Like, I'm down with them together. But
Well, you
like,
can.
one
That's
of
the
the
beauty.
turtles.
You can choose. You get your choice.
Who
of
plays
all of them.
Who plays Casey? Is it Elias Koteas? Who plays
It's,
Casey Jones?
he's in a million movies.
The guy from Crash,
Yeah,
the good one, not the
Zodiac.
Oscar winner.
I forget his name.
Whatever.
He's
I know
amazing.
I know who you're talking about.
Crash is the most depressing movie I've ever seen.
Cronenberg's
Like,
Crash,
yeah,
or
yeah, it is very
with
depressing.
Caruso. Maybe is that?
Nah, it's not Caruso.
Who's in that?
Well, the main
the
guy
main-
You're
It's
talking about
Spader.
Cronenberg.
Spader. Yeah, the main dude is Spader.
You're on the right wavelength.
The king of awkward sex, Spader.
I saw Crash once, and I just remember one shot, like in the middle of the freeway, panning out. That's the only thing my only
I think that's the
takeaway.
last shot.
I rented Crash as like a horny teenager, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah,
yeah.
here we go.
Here
I'm
we
gonna watch
go.
some sex." And then I put it in the VHS, and I was like, "This is not what I was hoping for." We didn't have the internet back then.
Yeah.
I mean the internet existed.
Yeah.
but You
It
had
was
to go.
early.
You had to go rent a VHS if you wanted to see some dirty pictures.
You had to rent.
and that was the wrong choice.
Yeah, that's like accidentally getting straw dogs for that purpose. Yeah.
Cronenberg is
Are we like
not on
incapable
this
of talking
list.
about happy movies? Like, what's wrong with that?
I think that's like the conversation though. Is
Yeah.
like, everyone always, it has their like you were mentioning a minute ago that you watched with your sister. Growing up.
Oh, Les Miserables.
Les Miserables. Everyone has those
Yeah.
movies that are just close to them that maybe necessarily aren't feel-good movies, but they have that personal connection to you that makes you feel good.
I actually
I love
asked. I asked the viewers the same question. What are movies that aren't uppers that are uppers to you?
Yeah.
And we got some cool answers. Megan Linhart said Disturbia.
With
Shia LaBeouf.
nice.
Yeah. The modernized Rear Window, great movie.
I heard some people recently like recommending Disturbia.
I saw
haven't seen
Disturbia
it,
and I
yeah.
didn't hate it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And she was saying that, yeah, it has like, I mean, I don't remember it very well, but I remember kind of just enjoying it when I
Yeah.
watched it. It's sort of like Panic Room vibes, you know? Happy Gaming says Arrival. and that especially at the time that it came out, it was refreshing and invigorating to see a movie that explored humanity as a whole and not just and how no person is perfect. Moreover, the movie explores themes that humanity doesn't specify or specifically act out of evil or hatred, but personal fear and the idea of self or societal preservation. I liked Arrival a lot.
Is that the Amy Adams one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
Human.
It's so good.
Human. Oh yeah, she doesn't. Yeah,
That's
that's a
You
good
want to
one.
talk
Actually,
about directors, dude? He's the
yeah,
best in the
yeah,
biz
yeah,
right now.
dude.
10 out of 10.
I
really-
find Arrival's very hopeful, actually.
Yeah.
I watched that.
It has like a sad, definitely a
Yeah.
sad like part, like arc to it
Mhm.
when you realize like what's happening. But
Yeah.
like, it's not nihilistic. It has hope.
Yeah, just
it's
like the
giving me
belief in
chills.
like connection and
Yeah.
like working out difffences between people who can't understand
I have
each other.
chills.
Yeah.
Like, my whole body right now is chills thinking
It's
about
fucking
it.
good
they
movie.
multiplying?
Yeah.
Arrival's great. See it if you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean Villeneuve,
Yep.
right?
I've talked to the comments on my Huber syndrome. I tried to pronounce his
I don't
name
know.
like 15 times.
I think it's like Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve. I think.
Villeneuve?
Villeneuve.
I think you got
Villeneuve.
it.
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Denis
Denis
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. I like Googled it one time and there's like a how to pronounce it like on YouTube.
Did I say National Treasure at the top of this? I
Yeah.
love National Treasure, by the way. 1 and 2.
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage is like the Keanu Reeves.
I was
of
just
Nick
gonna say,
Cage.
is there a movie with Nick Cage and Keanu Reeves? Does it exist?
Oh my God.
Does
That's a good
that
question.
exist?
I don't think it does off the top
don't
of my
think
head.
it-
Does that not exist?
I don't think it does.
We need it. We need that movie.
Nick Cage. No, he's
We need
not
Nick
in that.
Cage in John Wick 3. That's what we need.
Oh my God.
We need that.
Mandy.
That's the place where both of them could exist.
Yeah.
It's in the John Wick world.
Totally.
A couple other movies, I think it would just like rupture.
Yeah, it couldn't withstand the power. Oh my God.
Nick Cage.
If he shows up in. Now I'm going to be kind of bummed if he doesn't.
He's not. He's not in it. Unfortunately.
Nick Cage is such a bizarre and dynamic force. I've mentioned this before, but like the movie Bringing Out the Dead. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
I had
that
the
one.
weirdest experience with that movie because the first time I saw it, we were like laughing. We thought it was a comedy. And then the second time, it was the saddest thing I've ever seen. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I still don't know which it is. Probably not a comedy. I don't know.
So intense.
Kyle Lee says, this might be a strange pick, but my go-to when I'm feeling down is actually a documentary. If I'm sad or sick or feeling blah, I watch Indie Game the movie, which I haven't seen,
I haven't
actually.
seen that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I mean, it mainly focuses on Fez and Super Meat Boy
Sure.
and one other one.
I have seen that.
And you probably know, like,
I did see
over
that movie,
half
actually.
the people in the
Yeah,
documentary.
yeah.
It's cool because you see people
I
like
met
working
Phil
really
Fish
hard
once.
and getting their shit done. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was nice in person.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a little weird, but he was nice.
Yeah.
He was nice to me. Yeah. Liz Castro says that they've mentioned this before perhaps, but their master thesis was about filmic representation of the Holocaust. Here we go.
Wait, how is this to feel good?
Well, yeah.
Whoa.
Particularly how Hollywood approached the subject. In writing my thesis, I'm quoting now. In writing my thesis, I watched a lot of documentaries and newsreels. Quite possibly one of the most transformative docs I watched was A Film Unfinished, which analyzed recovered film that was meant to be used as propaganda promoting ghettos as positive situations for Jews. Hearing the machinations of the Nazi state intermingled with the testimony of survivors gave me life during the final writing and editing of my stupid thesis. It's selfish, I know, but rewatching the doc angered and fueled my desire to get this shit done so others could know this anger too. So it like fueled
I
her.
was like galvanizing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing the right thing with
Right.
my work. This work's important. It's worth doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because
Yeah,
we're talking,
yeah,
we're
Yeah.
talking now about movies that don't
Yes.
seem like uppers, but yeah.
Absolutely.
So I just thought that was intense.
Yeah.
Jeremy Ferris says, for me, Lost in Translation is a movie that has become extremely important to me. I only watched it about 2 years ago, but since then I've seen it 10 times, and it's cracked its way to the top 5 in his favorite movies. It's a movie that if I'm ever feeling down, it makes me feel better. The story of these two strangers meeting in a foreign place who create a powerful bond over a couple of days is very comforting to me. That anytime, anywhere, I might meet my own Charlotte. I like that movie too, but that's one of those melancholic ones for sure. Also, kind of the opposite of this, but like Galaxy Quest to me is too happy. Like at the end of it, I'm so overjoyed that I get like depressed. Do you know what I mean?
Most happy movies really, really depress me.
Yeah.
They really
it's
depress
too
me.
happy,
It's
you're
pretty
so
rare for a
right.
happy movie to make me happy. I tend to avoid them. When you ask me on this podcast, it's like, oh, cool, let me look on my Blu-ray shelf and see which of my happy movies I love.
It's
There
just
were
like Das
none.
Boot.
There were none.
Yeah.
And I looked on the Criterion list because I like classic movies. I was like, all right, well, let me like pick out the like most heartwarming Criterion movies. There aren't. There aren't any. It's all fucking depressing. There are definitely some feel-good movies out there. But it is weird how like you can gild the lily a little too much, and then it always makes me feel life's not like that.
Yeah.
The only way you can be happy is by lying to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the feeling, and that's not true, but that's the feeling a bad happy movie gives me.
To me, I think, right, and I think we'll talk about this in a little bit, how like this kind of movie can be weaponized, but like I think that, like we were talking about before, how like sometimes the happiest movies, like the hero loses but gains something else, you know? Like I think there is something to be said for this format, that making the audience feel that they can relate is more powerful than just having like an all across the board happy movie.
That makes me think of Roman Holiday.
I
Have
haven't
you
seen
seen
that,
Roman
no.
Holiday? Gregory Peck, and one of the Hepburns, I think. I can't remember which Hepburn it is. One of them. Anyway, she's a princess, and she gets drunk in Rome and falls asleep on a bench, and Gregory Peck's a newspaper reporter. And they hang out for a wild weekend, and she pretends she's not a princess. And then it has, I don't want to give away the movie because it's beautiful,
Okay.
but it is not like a sweeping love story where everybody ends up happily ever after,
Right.
but it's so much more moving and so much more powerful, and it's not going to depress you. It's not a sad movie
yeah.
either. But like you were saying before, like a little bit of restraint is more disturbing. I think a little bit of restraint is more happy also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
agree.
feel
Totally.
like the contrast of like what's there and what's not there, and what you can have in life and what you can't. Roman Holiday is a beautiful movie. I think
sounds
everybody would love it. It's one of the best classics out there.
That
It's just
sounds
phenomenal.
I've definitely heard
Gregory
of it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's more attainable, right? Like you don't have what's the opposite of Schadenfreude, where you're like, if somebody's life is just going great in a movie, you're just like, well, ugh, must be nice. Like, my life is trash, you know? Like,
Do you both, like, I'm glad you mentioned Gregory Peck and like an older movie, you know. I feel like, you know, when I'm down to, I'll retreat to the past, like black and white Bogart movies, you know,
Yeah.
film noir,
Yeah.
because it's just like
Casablanca is like,
the ultimate escape, you know. It
The problems
really
are over.
it
Yeah.
just transports you back.
yeah, the Great Depression, we're past that. We got through.
War's over. It's
Yeah,
like-
we made it.
yeah. So
Everything's great now.
it's just like, it's so transforming. I don't know. It just sucks me in, like older movies, you know.
That's
Because current movies, obviously, you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know,
I
this was just
80%
made.
watch old classic movies for that very reason. Yeah, Jimmy Stewart, like
Oh,
almost
yeah.
anything he's in
Oh, my
is
God.
heartwarming.
Oh,
Like
my
he's
God.
such a fucking lovable dude.
My fave.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life. Someone mentioned on the list, but the
Yeah.
shop around the corner. Have you
Oh,
guys seen
no. I
I
that?
haven't seen that one, no.
Okay, this sounds bad. You've Got Mail was based on it.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's a black and white movie. Ernst Lubitsch, who is one of my favorite classic film directors, and Jimmy Stewart and Margaret Sullivan are in this like little Polish souvenir shop, and they're writing love letters to each other. They're like pen pals, but they hate each other in real life. They don't know
yeah.
they're pen pals.
Right.
So it's them getting on each other's nerves the whole movie and going home and writing love letters to each other.
Like You've Got Mail.
Yeah. It's amazing and so heartwarming. And Jimmy Stewart is like, I just want to give him
The
a hug
best.
every time I see him.
Every single time.
I mean,
Every time.
Rear Window is like one of my ultimate.
Yeah.
That's him, yeah.
Yep.
One
Yeah.
time I watched a movie where Jimmy Stewart said the word panties, and it really threw me for
Yeah,
a loop.
that's Yeah.
Anatomy of
I
a
can't
Murder.
picture that.
He's like a lawyer, and he's like, tell me, where were the panties? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't
Jimmy,
know if
no.
I want to
Jimmy, no, please. Pump the brakes.
Keep it G-rated.
Pump the brakes, Jimmy. No. But yeah, like movies that like whenever I watch Rear Window, for example, yeah, like it feels like I have the fireplace going, even if I don't. You know, it just like puts
Great.
you in that place.
Yes.
North by Northwest too, to some extent, even though it's a little more
yeah.
exciting. But
Mm-hmm.
Hitchcock, I guess, has that vibe.
Yeah.
I think there's something. Honestly, I think there's something about. I asked later, but I want to hear what you guys think of this about like filmmaking techniques that kind of like, can you engineer this? Can you? Is there a certain color palette, certain music, certain choices, certain shots, certain timing of edits that evoke this feeling? Like if you had a supercomputer, could it like, and it knew the formula?
I need you guys to let me know because I haven't brought this up. This is one of the coziest movies. It's one of my favorite. Just being in this movie, The Illusionist. The Prestige I like way more.
I have not seen The Illusionist.
But The Illusionist, the vibe and the look and the feel of that movie is just ultimate cozy. I remember after I rewatched it, I like looked up the cinematographer and I was like seeing what he did, and I had seen a couple of them, but for whatever reason, The Illusionist just has that feel. I don't know if it's like just the lighting and the color palette, like you were saying.
Was it like warm and brown? Or
Really warm and just.
I mean, obviously,
blue is really popular right now.
Right.
Most movies are blue.
Yeah, like the orange and teal, everything, but like, I think that does have a lot to do with it. Like warmer color timing for sure evokes this feeling. And I think there's something about Technicolor that kind of just lent that feeling to most movies of like the middle of the film.
Middle of
that was a very weird way to phrase that. Like the 40s and 50s,
Technicolor is beautiful.
Technicolor is incredible, and like
I miss that shit. It's a very specific like post process,
right?
I think, combined with the film grade,
right? And it's just like it has that. I think the first cinematographer that comes to mind that has this feeling to me still usually is Roger Deakins. I think that, and I mean the Coen brothers, I think like these kind of film the color palettes in their films, but like, boy, there's some like No Country for Old Men, not a happy movie, makes me feel great. A few other people actually mentioned it too. Like I love that movie and it makes me feel warm inside because it's kind of just like
that
cozy. Well, it has that feeling. It has that warm vibe, but it's also just like, nope, the universe doesn't care. You are alone. And I'm just like, yeah.
That is me.
We're all alone.
Yeah, you're inside my head. You said something, I think, on your horror episode. 'Cause I'm a fan. I listen to every episode of your podcast.
Jeez, thanks,
but
man.
like your horror episode, you said something that I've never quite heard someone phrase exactly this way. But you were saying that horror movies make you feel good because the protagonist usually survives, and if they can get through all that horrible
you want
shit,
them to live. Yeah,
it means that maybe you can get through
Yeah.
some rough shit yourself too. But I think for me, I like emotional torture movies where like people just have like the bleakest, hardest experiences, but then they get through and they find meaning in that sadness, and then like it makes me come back to my life and be like, okay, my life is part of the human experience too.
Yeah.
This is okay. I'm okay.
Yes.
We're all like this. And that's a like uplifting feeling, even if the movie is kind of intense
Totally.
or sad.
I 100% agree with that.
I like that.
Yeah, I think I've had sadder feelings coming out of a Harry Potter movie than I've had coming out of like a Coen Brothers like thriller, It's funny. Because like with Harry Potter and stuff, with other happy movies, the feeling it leaves me with is, oh, I wish I were there. I want to go to there. I wish I had
That Avatar.
Yeah, I wish
Avatar
I had-
syndrome.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like people actually did. They like went like lost grip
Yeah.
because they wished they were on Pandora.
Yeah.
And like apparently it's always been around, but they coined it the Truman Show syndrome too. After Truman Show came out, where like people think they're in a show,
Yeah.
of their own, like where they're the star of their own TV show.
They are now though.
Well, yeah, pretty
anywhere
much.
you are publicly,
yeah, throwing a
someone's
camera
filming
basically.
you.
But like,
you act out, it's gonna be on someone's phone.
because we live in a panopticon. Someone had a comment about horror movies too, but I can't find it. There's just too many comments. You're all beautiful. But yes, I completely agree with that. And I think that I asked like them, and they said that a few other common threads between these movies are sympathetic and relatable characters. The character incurs significant loss or tragedy and then is redeemed, restored, or otherwise set right. And I think that's accurate. That was Morgan Mahala pointing that out. I do think that a lot of these movies do tend to follow kind of the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell kind of arc, generally, broad strokes, like Indiana Jones, all these movies, like, pretty classical narratives, right?
Dude, Indiana Jones.
Oh, Indiana Jones, top 10 feel-good movie.
Top 5.
Top 1.
Yeah, seriously.
Although-
Indiana Jones is up there.
Last Crusade, which I love, pulls kind of a Galaxy Quest for me, where at the very end of it I get kind of melancholic because I'm just like I don't want it to be over.
Yeah.
And I'm just like
Totally.
it's too happy. They're running to the sunset literally for the entire credits. Yeah.
Spielberg gets that
Spielberg.
happy
Well,
vibe
several people.
most of the time.
Several people actually brought that up.
The Spielberg vibe.
Someone actually, I said, like, what is the common genre for movies like this? Are they comedies? Are they dramedies? What are they? And I want to say that it was Would You Kindly Hear?
Would you kindly?
Well, someone, I'll see if I can find it, but someone says that the genre should just be called Spielberg.
Yeah.
He's too much for me. I hate to say it. He's too
Really?
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, he's got
Oh,
some
no.
good movies.
I
but the
mean-
last 5 minutes of every Spielberg movie make me so angry because he's so overindulgent. But like, he
Dude.
knows how to make great movies. I don't think he knows how to land them. At least for me, for my aesthetic taste,
This is
which is
interesting,
very
actually.
He's
snobby
got-
and yeah.
Because he's so prolific, though, there's so many movies.
Right.
Like, it's hard to have 50 10 out of 10s.
I for sure don't think he's unassailable. I think he's got, like the 5 or probably 8 like incredible classics,
Of all
time.
Yeah.
Well, I brought a surprise for you guys tonight, Mr. Spielberg. Come on in.
That'd be so
Oh,
nuts.
hello guys.
I would
I don't know what he
freak.
sounds like. I can't remember. Yeah, I would lose my marbles.
I would.
And then I'd be like, he said all that mean stuff. He brought you here.
That would be really awkward. I'd backpedal so fast. I'd
Yeah.
be kissing his ass. I'd be like, I love your
yeah.
movie.
Oh, you're amazing.
He
You're
he
amazing.
has a couple, like, not as good movies, but I love that he has really intense masterpieces, obviously, in the 90s, like Schindler's List, Private Ryan. But then he also just has, like, it should be its own genre, the Spielberg blockbuster. You know? His blockbusters just...
I mean, Jaws is credited with like creation
Exactly.
of the blockbuster more or less.
Exactly. So I love a good Spielberg movie. It's
Yeah.
just, you're in for
Sorry,
a
Matthew.
good time.
Hey, there's no accounting for taste. My taste.
Wait,
I know my.
Give me some of these bad landings.
He's had some stinkers.
He's had.
Oh my gosh!
so
did you
many
see
movies.
Bridge of Spies is a classic.
I didn't really
example
like Bridge of
I did
Spies.
not
of like
see that.
how
It was
he can
one of my
ruin
least
a
favorites.
decent, which is written by the Coen brothers.
Yeah,
I heard that. Yeah.
one of my least favorites. I didn't care for
The
it.
Post. Oh, the Post.
Never saw
made me
that.
sick.
Post was
Here's the
alright.
thing, I'm talking like later period.
alright.
I've kind of stopped. I've
Ready Player
stopped
One was
with,
fine.
I didn't like Ready Player
Lincoln
One.
though is recent, and that's amazing. He can't. He's obviously past his 90s prime when it's like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So he's definitely on the downhill, but he can still pump.
How do
out,
we
like, a
feel?
great
How do we
movie.
feel about Hook?
Is that Spielberg?
I
It
believe
is.
it
Okay, I'm
is.
sold on Hook.
It is.
Yeah.
I like Hook because
Yeah.
Hook
is
goes,
absurd.
It is
goes
absurd.
so far
Yeah.
that it comes back around and I like it. You
Hook,
know what
yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah. Because Hook is like not a good movie, but it's also like fantastic.
You're playing with us, Peter.
You're doing it, Peter. Oh God! And Tinkerbell tries to like seduce him. It's very weird.
That is weird. Julia Roberts, Tinkerbell.
I've never really loved Julia Roberts, if I'm honest.
Dude, I love Julia Roberts.
She's on my bad list. Bless her heart.
She's
but
on your
yeah,
what list?
Bad list. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Doesn't do it for me.
Aaron Brockovich
Never saw it.
is a 50 out of 10.
I feel like we've had this exact
you
conversation.
need to
before.
watch. You love Soderbergh.
I do
It's
love
Soderbergh.
But Ian hates the environment, so I don't know if that part of Aaron Brockovich
I do want the
will
Earth to be
appeal.
destroyed. yeah. I just left my car running so that my carbon footprint is just always up.
You're drinking poison water
I'm
right
drinking
now.
poison water. Actually, it was kind of nice because I watched ContraPoint's new video about the apocalypse. She's great if you haven't seen her. But and she was like, "What are the things you can do to like stop global warming?" And I just like, without trying, did most of them. Like, I don't eat red meat. I have a hybrid. Like, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
tra la la. But it was just funny. I
doing
was like,
it right.
hey, I'm morally fine. I can do whatever I want. Woo. The Goonies is great.
Goonies.
Have you been to the
Spielberg-
beach in California where the finale of Goonies is shot?
No?
What you can do is you can do a 2-for-1 because it's out close to Bodega Bay, where the Hitchcock film The Birds was filmed.
Oh.
You can go run by that schoolyard where the birds are chasing the children.
Dude,
and then you can go
sick.
out to the beach and see like the ocean where the pirate ship comes out at the end of the film.
I think that
it's a great little weekend trip. Highly recommend it.
The beach at the end of Haywire,
Love Haywire.
Soderbergh, I think that's up there somewhere too, maybe.
Goonies is heartwarming. They win.
Goonies
They
is great.
win. Yeah,
Goonies
yeah.
is great. I love Goonies. They
The
win.
acting
yeah.
is great for kids. Although I hear
Yeah.
people say that if you didn't grow up with Goonies, they don't tend to like it. Which is
I've
bizarre
heard
to
that
me.
too. I've heard that
'cause
too.
I find it hard to believe that it's all nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because I look at Goonies and I'm like, this is good.
Well,
like,
let's
this
talk
is
about that.
well written. This is a good line.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about that. Like, how much does nostalgia play into this, do you think?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Because Goonies is the perfect example. Like,
Yeah.
I've had several people tell me, yeah, they didn't get out on the ground floor. They watched it when they were like 28, and they were like, Goonies sucks.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Same.
huh? I like can't process that.
I hear that about E.T. also, and I'm like, how can you not love E.T.? Which is that a Spielberg?
Yes.
It
Okay,
is.
on
Dude
board
has
for E.T.
20
On board for
masterpiece
E.T.
movies.
early
Yeah.
Spielberg, early to mid Spielberg is like
Insane.
winners.
Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, like
Yeah.
on and on and on and on.
on and on.
On and on. On and on.
E.T. though, the like hazmat suit guys coming into the end
Freaky.
like scared me so much as a
too.
kid that
Me
like
too.
I can't do that movie anymore. I love the E.T. ride at Universal Studios Florida though, where it like kind of says your name at the end. Have either of you done it?
No, I did
Do
the
you ride a
one-
bike over
You're
the
on a
moon?
bike and he's
Yeah,
flying
yeah.
you around, and it goes thank you, Ian. Well, it never is right. So it's like you get your name is like on the thing behind you. So it's like thank you, Jordan, and it's like hey, I'll take it. Thanks,
when they
E.T.
did have it at Universal Hollywood, I got to go on it once as
They
a
used to,
kid,
yeah.
and the line queue
Oh yeah, dude.
was
You're in the
going
forest.
through. Oh my god, the
Oh.
forest and the neighborhood. It was the best line of all time.
Yeah.
It's like
And
better
you
than the ride.
There are like 3 holding zones for that ride. You wait outside, and then you're led into a room where Steven Spielberg, the man himself, shows you a little video, and then you go walk through this crazy forest in the Florida one, and then you get on the bike. And oh man, there are these. When you get to E.T., you fly E.T. back to his planet. It's great. And then there's like this talking mushroom that just goes, "Welcome home." And then another one really low. I can't do it as low as he does, but he goes like, "You've arrived." Hey, I got it. Yeah. Anyway, that ride is great.
So you can't turn off the nostalgia switch. I can't.
I don't
at
think you
least.
can.
I don't know if you can be like, okay, I'm not feeling nostalgia. Let me look at this objectively. And like, I
can.
can't do that.
Right.
I can do it with video games, but movies, I don't.
Like I could not throw on The Princess Bride probably and just, well, I don't know, maybe I could, but like it would be hard to just watch it anew and with objective eyes, even though that movie's perfect in every way.
You have to watch it with someone.
Sure.
That's the only way. Live vicariously through them.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see it with some fresh eyes. It helps.
I'm like weirdly protective though. Like I won't watch Galaxy Quest or Princess Bride with like people.
What are you doing? Are you looking at your phone? Don't look at your phone. This
Right.
part's funny.
Right.
It's gonna be funny up
right,
here.
right. I'm like, yeah, it's just like, and if they don't love it, you know, it's like it's
It hurts.
a reflection on me.
It
Like
stings.
You can see it in the eyes. They're like, it's good. I can
Yeah,
see why.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
see why you like it. It's fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, that part. I can see why you like it. Is
Oh,
the
God.
most damning phrase.
I heard a good one for bands. It's like if you go see a friend's band and they're not that good, you say, like, "Looks like you guys are having a bunch of fun up there."
Oh God.
You're all having a lot of fun.
Wait, people have said that to me before.
That means they're trying to be a pal. Give me some encouragement.
That's so funny.
I took one dance class here in LA at Ryan Heffington's School of Dance or whatever. The guy he
Ryan Heffington?
he choreographed like all the music videos that I liked, like Sia's Chandelier and the Kenzo World perfume commercial. And I was like, I love this style of dance. I guess it's just like weird contemporary, but he choreographed all those. And I was like, oh, I live in LA. And I Googled it and it was like, he's got a school. And I was like, okay. So I went and took a class there. And at the end, I was like talking to the teacher because I was like, hey, I'm gonna be out for like 3 weeks. And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. She's like, oh, yeah, good job. You really hung in there, or something like that. And I was just like, okay. I'll never come back here again. And I never did. Giving up on my dreams.
I have a friend who always beats me in Smash Brothers, and he has the
Same.
most brutal cut
8 of
downs
them.
where he'll give me encouragement. He'll be like, "Oh, you're getting better. Each time you play, you get better. It's so much improvement." He's like, "You tried really hard."
Try that with 1,000 people in chat saying that. They're like, oh, Ian's getting better. I'm like, thanks, guys. I'm trying. God, Smash. I didn't get mad, though. I actually had fun. I found the fun.
Because
With the earlier Smash, I
multiplayer-
was just so angry all the time.
the Tuesday will be intense. The
Yeah.
tournament.
There's a tournament built into the game, too.
Yeah. It's way more fun when there's like 6 or 7 people at once, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Less competitive, more fun.
I think the movement is too,
splashy.
it's too splashy.
It's
you push
very
over
splashy.
and you walk for 8 feet.
Yeah, it's
and I'm like,
splashy.
what's happening? Ugh.
You got to use the this will level you up, Ian. You got to use the block and the dodge. So when you
There's
tap
a dodge?
So when you hold block by itself, the block button, you just sit there and you have the
there's
bubble.
the bubble.
But when you do that and then you flick the stick either left or right, then you'll do a little whoop.
Oh.
That's really important. That's your next step in getting better.
So shield and flick.
Shield and flick.
Left
and then,
stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have some iframes. You're invincible for those a second, and it helps
So, but wait.
it helps to move a little bit too instead of
This is the thing that blows my mind, though, is that in that maelstrom of insanity, you can still have intention with your actions. I'm lucky if I know where I am. You know?
I know.
I'm like an old person.
I was,
don't
dude.
know.
It was the same. I think we were all trying to find our person. There's so many people.
Can you imagine playing multiplayer Smash just on the Switch screen?
With 8 people.
Oh my god. What the hell are we talking about? Video games? Oh, a lot of people hate Forrest Gump.
I hate Forrest Gump. I wrote that
Several
down on
people-
my phone before I came
Several
here.
people brought
That
it up.
movie makes me
It's
angry.
kind of sad.
It's-
I
it's-
love
It's
it,
so
though.
exploitative
It's
and
so-
so
yeah.
condescending. Yeah.
Well,
It
and
is?
not only Morgan Mahaly and Tokyo Slim, a few people brought it up, but they were talking about it's just it's a movie. And I always thought this too as a kid. I was like, so wait, this is a movie about this pure-hearted man just getting dumped on by life. And Jenny especially, she's manipulative and mean and crazy and just using him, unabashedly using him.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember if the movie redeems it at the end.
There's something
Yeah,
dehumanizing about it towards people with disabilities too.
Yeah.
As elevating them to some kind of weird mythic archetype as
Sure.
opposed to a human being who maybe does some shitty things and does some good things. There's this problem with almost any sort of minority group that gets pushed to the outside is they either get treated terribly or they get made into these ridiculous saintly archetypes.
Sure.
And then I think Forrest Gump probably
Yeah.
has both in there, but there's no real human being in the middle of
Yeah.
both sides of that spectrum.
Yeah.
That's not a good movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Damn.
I never liked Forrest Gump. Who
Whoa.
directed that? Is that
Robert
Richard
Zemeckis.
Robert Zemeckis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like other Zemeckis though.
Castaway.
Yeah.
Love Castaway.
That one's good. Oh, did you see The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock?
I
from
never
Speed?
did. I don't like basketball.
That movie makes me angry also.
Really?
That's another condescending
it
feel
seemed
good movie.
exploitative.
There are
yeah.
certain movies where it takes a controversial subject, like Forrest Gump does disability and Blind Side does race, and it's supposed to make you feel like a good person,
Right.
because you have sympathy for this particular group, the
This-
subject
yeah.
matter of whatever the movie is going
Right.
to tackle.
This
Well,
poor blank person.
yeah. While it's secretly reinforces so
Right.
many racist
Yeah.
stereotypes.
That
And
was sort of my read from the trailer.
yeah, it was worse than I imagined. It's
Wow.
one of the
Dang.
most racist movies I've seen in a
Whoa.
very long time.
That's like
Yeah,
the Bad
yeah.
Crash, where it's just
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Also starring Sandra Bullock.
Really?
Yeah, she's
in
in
that?
both. She does these racial issue movies that
Yeah.
really fall on their faces.
White people feel good movie. Like Gravity makes you
The Help. The
yeah.
Help's kind of
Oh, The Help. The Help was weird, yeah.
The Help's a little bit like that.
All these movies that you know what they're aiming at, but they miss the target. Yeah. The human experience.
I haven't seen Forrest Gump in a while. I just like Gary
You're better for
Sinise.
it.
Gary Sinise, dude. I like his name.
Gary Sinise does have a good name. He's also got one of those very severe Chicago faces where you're just like, wow, Gary Sinise.
Snake eyes.
Boom. The movie Snake Eyes?
Snake Eyes.
That's a
With
Nick Cage
Nicolas
movie,
Cage?
right?
Nick Cage and Gary Sinise.
That is a weird, depressing movie, if I recall.
don't remember.
I remember there's a shot in
Yeah.
like a...
Some sick shots in that movie.
Yeah, there's a cool shot where it like pans over a whole bunch of building rooms, and I think they built the set for it. I can't remember if it's like a brothel or a casino or both, but like yeah, the camera goes. 8mm. There's a feel bad movie.
I don't want to talk about it. Moving on.
Oh, I forgot that movie existed.
Next.
Oof, yeah.
Next.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. Next.
Yeah,
Real
okay.
depressing. I liked this one. In like techniques and storytelling in these films, someone brought up an interesting point that I hadn't thought about, but I think might be true. Would you kindly brought up the idea that there shouldn't be too many parallel stories in a feel good movie? It's like a person's or these two people's story.
I never
think
thought
that
of it
I think
that
that kind of
way.
holds true for a lot of these.
Yeah.
And obviously not all of them. Like Galaxy Quest is pretty ensemble and like, but I mean like Indiana Jones and some of the classics.
Most of them are that way. There's only like a few examples I can think of that aren't like that. Like Royal Tenenbaums
Sure.
is an ensemble, and that's a feel good movie, but it's
Yeah.
really
That's
hard
one
to
of those
do.
like
it's really
that's
hard
one of
to do.
those happy sad,
Yeah.
bittersweet.
Happy sad.
Yeah. Like the first time I saw Royal Tenenbaums, I was like, God, I'm depressed. And then like later, I like have the
You have
fortitude.
the shield for it. Yeah.
Oh God! And he's like, I've had a hard year, Dad. I'm like,
Oh my God!
just
I
melt
know,
into my
I
seat.
know, I know. What does he call him, Chazzy or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that part. I like Wes Anderson, man.
Me too. Bottle Rocket is one of my
That's the
favorite
only one I
feel-good
haven't
movies.
seen.
That's the best one. So you've got the best one saved for you.
Great.
It is.
It's really simple. That goes to
Yeah.
this listener's theory
Sure.
of that like a pared down story focusing on like one central subject.
Yeah.
It's really, really feel good. I feel like it's Wes Anderson. You mentioned tone poem earlier. It's Wes Anderson's perfect tone poem.
Oh, okay.
It's a little more in the real world than a lot of his movies. There's less artifice, but it still has all those fun flourishes you love with Wes Anderson. Owen Wilson's best acting role by far. His character Dignan in there is amazing. Such a heartfelt movie.
I gotta see it.
Yeah.
I gotta see it. It's a weird blind spot for
I
me.
think you'll like it.
What about John Hughes?
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Where do you
yeah.
stand with John Hughes?
Oh, yeah.
I like John Hughes.
Excellent.
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris
That's feel
Bueller.
good.
That's one of my ultimate.
That one kind of makes me sad too at the end.
What?
I don't know. Huh. I think there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. I rewatched.
16
and that's really
Candles.
good. 16
I've
Candles.
never
I
seen 16
rewatched
Candles.
like a couple months ago, and ooh, that has some intensely wrong stuff. In
Really?
It. It's really hard to like.
I've
anymore.
never seen it.
Which I
Dang.
remember liking it, but content warnings. There's definitely some assaults that happen.
Whoa.
That make the main character look like a hero. Like, good for you. You assaulted that drunk woman. Like, you did it. Awesome. And it's like,
Whoa.
oh,
Yeah.
How did all of us in the culture 30 years ago just be
Yeah.
like, this is okay. This is
Yeah.
normal.
That-
It's weird. You don't have to be like super political to see it in the
Yeah.
movie. I
Right.
think any
Yeah.
normal human being would watch it now and be like,
Be like,
oh,
ooh,
we've come a
oh.
long way since
Totally.
then.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Friends-
is
like Friends. We always talk about Friends.
I mean, it is. It is very strange that the 80s, 90s, and I mean, I'm sure everything before that, but like, yeah, there's a lot of that. Like a lot of like weird shit happening at a party that like the
Yeah.
movie's just fine with.
But this is good for the subject because they have insidious
Yeah,
shit
actually-
like that in feel-good movies, and I
Yeah.
think that fucks the culture up a little bit.
Even,
like if you're not careful, you have a big responsibility with a feel-good movie. I
Sure,
think.
Even 10
Good
Things I
point.
Hate About You I just watched. There's like this drunk girl at a party and she goes to kiss Heath Ledger and then he like
Oh, he just
gives
turns
her
to, someone
to
else.
another
Yeah,
guy.
I remember thinking that was a little sketch.
and then a couple minutes go by and then he's walking through the house again and you see the guy and her like making out and he's like, thanks man, and
Oh,
he's just
yeah.
like making out with the girl. It's like,
I remember. Yep, I remember that. And when I was watching it, I was like, "Uh-oh,
Yeah.
whoopsies,
yeah,
not good.
just those jokes that
Don't age."
don't age well.
I think you're
at
totally right,
all.
though. Like the phenomenon of Friends, you wonder, like, at what point is this piece of art a reflection of our society at this time, and then to what extent is it creating it also? Because I remember, like, everybody had the Rachel like haircut. Like, I had a girlfriend who had
good haircut.
every single one of Rachel's haircuts, you know, and it's just like, yeah, life was imitating art at that point. It was weird.
Friends is in the news right now, though. The Netflix thing. You see all that?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they were going to take it off of Netflix on January. Twitter freaked out.
Oh, okay.
They paid
And then
$100 million to
100
keep
mil.
Friends for a year on
Just
Netflix.
for 1 year.
One
100
more
mil.
year?
$100 million.
I wonder how much of that the actors get. Because
Oh, they get
A decent amount.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
that's, I mean, literally everyone was freaking binging Friends on Netflix like all the time. When they took The Next Generation off of Netflix, I don't know if it's back on it now, but like I had like a bad day because I was watching it like every day to go to sleep. You know,
They took The Killing
Back in
off.
the day.
I go to sleep to The Killing. That sounds dark and
that
intense.
is so dark.
My wife and I, it's like one of our favorite shows of all time. Lyndon and Holder,
Really?
two of the greatest characters in the history of TV, period, full stop.
Dude,
The
I
Killing.
hard petered out like halfway
Because
into
you went into the
season two,
mindset
dude.
of like Twin Peaks, and like anyone who ever says
I didn't go. Hang on.
anyone
Hold
who ever
the
says
phone.
The Killing is
Hold
like
the
Twin
phone.
Peaks is just like no, it has nothing to do. There's no connections. Zero
Hold the phone.
Twin Peaks.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I did not go in thinking
No,
Twin Peaks,
but I've
the
seen
story
that.
goddamn went Twin
no-
Peaks. No,
Just
there's
because it's in,
so
like,
many parallels.
Pacific
She's like-
Northwest.
she's going across the river to the whorehouse. She's doing this. She's doing that. It's like 5 of the exact beats from Twin Peaks. This chick was Laura Palmer, dude. You're kidding yourself.
No. I refuse.
Fi.
I refuse.
Fiant.
I refuse.
I bend to your refusal aside.
It's not Twin Peaks.
It's not Twin Peaks, but it has similarities. They definitely, someone on that writer's room had seen Twin Peaks
Sure.
or had heard about it at
Sure.
a party and skimmed a few deets.
Sure. I guess it's based on like an Norwegian, the original.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called though.
a lot of
I
good
forget what
things
it's called. The Killing though.
Probably The Killing. whatever the killing is in Norwegian.
Go back to it. It's so good.
I don't think I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna finish The Fall before I go back to The Killing.
There was
Fall's
a murder
intense.
scene in The Killing where this dude starts like rage dancing while his friend's like murdering somebody, and I was like, nope, I'm good.
In The
I'm
Killing?
done. Yeah.
In The Killing?
What?
Am I thinking of the same movie?
I don't know.
Or the
Well,
same
this
TV
is a
show? I
series,
mean?
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I think I am. It's like the first season.
I remember in season 2 someone had like a
Rage
fish
dancing?
tank floor.
Yeah,
Remember
I don't
that?
think I'm thinking of the same thing. I think, yeah. There's like they murder somebody they think is responsible for the killing, and this guy gets all fucking psyched and raged up.
Oh.
No, I think they're in like a they're like doing drugs in a like a basement area, and they're like dancing and doing all that stuff, but no one dies there. There's no killing. Yeah.
Maybe it's just a dream I had.
Yeah, I think so.
I had a dream. I had a
Anyway,
dream.
the only reason I bring it up is because it is one of my favorite cozy watches. Because it's always raining. It's very dark. It's very like people talk quietly
Sure.
and slow. You know.
This is very Guillermo del Toro of you,
I know.
who has
I
a
know.
rain room in his house. I had a dream last night where I had like detective vision. I could sense animals through walls, and they were like red highlights. It was very strange. I like this one by Faip, F-A-A-I-P. They were talking about My Neighbor Totoro, and wanted to talk a little bit about Joe Hisashi, which I actually went and saw Joe Hisashi perform some of his Studio Ghibli soundtracks. He was conducting, and it was a very lovely experience.
Dude.
But he's the composer for a lot of Miyazaki's films, and
Happy sad.
yeah. They say, while I would consider most of Miyazaki's films to be uplifting for the most part, I think Hisashi masterfully communicates the relationship between happiness and sadness through his music, which I totally agree. Like, and I think music obviously plays a huge role in these movies, but I do think that when the music is telling me how to feel, it hard loses me.
Yeah.
So
if you notice it.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, what movie was it? It was a movie that Junkie XL did the soundtrack for, The Dark Tower.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
And it was like the worst soundtrack I've ever heard because it was just it was like a TV show. It was just trying to tell you everything to feel and think. And I was just like, stop. But I love the soundtrack to Fury Road. I don't know.
He did that
Anyway.
too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Music.
Fury Road.
Anyway, we're getting a little long in the tooth here. La La Land is fucking trash.
Did somebody write in with that?
No, a few people said they hate it, but I also don't.
I don't like it.
Um,
Talk about
It's not trash. It has
one
some
of those
qualities,
movies
but-
that's like life's not like this, you know. It's like they make it at the end or whatever, like the acting. I think I would have liked that movie more because there's so many failed actors in Hollywood, right? It's
Right,
like a
right.
town of failed actors. I think I would have liked it more if she didn't make it at the end.
Well,
Isn't
I mean,
it
that-
weird? Something like Ryan Gosling's. I haven't seen the movie,
He
but
gets-
he stays true to the roots of jazz against like the newfangled people like John Legend who are trying to like
Right.
mix it up and
Right, right.
lose the way from the original.
The
jazz
movie's,
path.
I mean, speaking of like racially weird stuff, the movie's full of Ryan Gosling like explaining what jazz means while like four black jazz musicians are like kicking ass right behind him, and John Legend is being like, hey, you got to be a little flexible, man. And he's like, no, I know jazz. And it's just kind of strange. I don't know. But
Like John Legend.
that's neither here or there. But like, it's a weird movie. I kind of agree. I mean, I think the point of the movie is like, you can have one or the other, I guess. You sacrifice this so you can have that,
Mhm.
you know? But yeah, it's just kind of a bummer of a movie.
Yeah, I didn't
It's just
care
kind
for
of
it that much.
depressing movie
Yeah.
for no real. It's kind of mean.
Yeah.
It's like a mean movie. Lady Bird's good. Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible are kind of feel good movies.
Yes.
yeah, they are. They really are.
Tom Cruise puts me in a good mood.
Pop
and I'm
quiz.
not afraid to admit it.
Pop quiz hotshot. Who's the only other actor that's been in every Mission Impossible movie besides Tom Cruise?
Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames.
Mm-hmm. But he only has a cameo in
2 and 3.
2 and no,
Well, I don't remember 2 very well. He shows up at the end of
cameo in like
3.
Ghost Protocol maybe.
and
There's one where it's
4?
just cameo. I think it's Ghost Protocol.
Yeah. You wanted me to remind you of a tearjerker formula for LA Ink.
Oh, I forgot about that. So I worked on the TV show L.A. Ink a long time ago.
Who are you, dude?
What in the
Do you know
world?
L.A. Ink is like a Cat Von
Kat-
D?
yeah, Kat Von D.
does
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
tattoos.
sure.
And if you work in TV, you get a lot of network notes. That's most of your life is getting
Yeah.
reams and reams of pages from the network telling you to recut the show a billion times. Like you'd work on one episode for like 3 or 4 months, just
Yeah.
recutting it over and over again to make them happy. And then I started to like take notes on, okay, what do they fucking actually want in this?
Right.
And I made a formula of the ones that actually passed the muster with the network and they were happy with. And it was the tragic tattoo formula. And it was like 8 steps. And the client comes in and says, oh, hey, I'm so happy to meet you, Kat Von D. I love you. I want to get this tattoo. Oh, that's a really cool tattoo idea. Yeah, it has a lot of meaning for me. Like a little piano note
Yeah.
right there. Be like, what's the meaning? So they start getting the tattoo and they're chatting and like, oh, I'm getting this like blueberry bush on my tree. And like, oh, I fucking love blueberries. You like blueberry pie. It's like little jokes. And then is there more to it than that? And then you do like some like cuts back and forth. And yeah. A little like sound hit right there. You gotta kind of like tease out something fucking sad happened
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
get into it. And then you're like, oh shit, my little brother, he died when he was eating blueberries because he accidentally ate a poison one. But his favorite food was blueberry pie. So at his funeral, we all ate fucking blueberry pie to like remember him. And then Kat Von D cries and she like, holds the hand. She's like, you know what? It's going to be a tattoo that your brother would have loved. She puts the tattoo on, and then they go to look at the mirror. And it's like really dramatic, so they're going to
Yeah.
reveal it. And then we got to the point on the show. I may be sued for saying this. That's okay. I'll take the lawsuit.
Please don't get sued.
Don't be sued.
Please don't get
We got to the
sued.
point on the show where we had fill in the blanks, where it was like, my every time I look at my tattoo, it makes me think of blank. And we'd have the person say it, like fill in the
wow.
blank. So they're like, oh, every time I look at my tattoo of a blueberry, it makes me think of my tattoo artist and my brother who died and how much he loved blueberries. And they'd cry and then some music and then we'd be out. But it's like an 8-step formula
Right.
that we'd have for all of them, and they kind of followed that. I mean, I'm the one who came up
Every
with the
episode.
formula, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
they
It's
made
your
me
formula,
do it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it made my life easier because I knew they'd be happy
Yeah.
with that every time.
I love.
So-
I've definitely picked up editing tricks are some of my favorite things. We've talked on the show, I think, before about the blue cow, where you like throw in something so egregiously wrong that the producers will be like, "Yeah, I really liked all of it. The blue cow is a little weird. I mean, I see what you're going for, but we should probably they won't like that upstairs. We got to lose that." And it's like, yeah. You threw in some glaringly wrong thing so that
To
they would
hide
focus
the
Give
on
them
that.
something
Right.
to get rid of.
so that
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
something
yeah.
so they feel like their job isn't pointless. And then also one time, do you remember John
How many
Santo?
times? So curious. How many times have you done that?
I didn't do that very often.
Or like people you know. How many times have you seen
a
it
lot.
done?
Yeah, a lot.
Like with the intent.
Yeah. Like definitely it's like a double blind, right? Like you really like something in the scene right before it, so you put in like a flash frame or a mistake
Yeah.
later.
gosh.
Not never like an actual editing
Yeah,
mistake, but just like a cut that you know they won't go for. Or like usually what I would do is I would like this is the joke I think they'll go for, but it's a little on the edge.
Yeah.
I'll put in something like way over the line, like next to it, where it's like I know they're not going for that. That's how I usually do it, like with like just a horrible
Okay, it was
joke.
good, but we gotta lose.
They're never gonna go for that joke about the horse or whatever, like.
So good.
So that's what I would always do. It was never like a mistake. It was always just
Yeah.
like something way too far or too crazy. The other one do you remember John Santo? Did you work with? Yeah, John Santo, great guy.
Love Santo.
Hero moment. He did this thing one time for New York back at Viacom. He was cutting some sizzle reel or whatever for whatever Comedy Central, whoever. And the first draft just put V3 at the end of it on the file name. Just called it version 3, and it just got passed all the way to the top because everyone was like, "Oh, they've done 3 rounds. It's fine." And I was
That's
like,
such a good idea.
"You are a hero. You are a hero."
Oh, dude.
I was like, oh my god, dude. Oh, I love it. Anyway, whatever.
Manipulative editing techniques.
Yeah. Learn something. Don't say we never taught you anything. But yeah,
That's so
editing
good.
is fun. I love editing. Anyways,
I love when you get to have fun with a review.
yeah.
Your sound ups are just.
I was
Next
looking
level.
forward to cutting the Fallout 76 review because it was one of our I think tied for our lowest score ever as Easy Allies. But the game is just so bland and tedious that it was hard to milk anything funny out of it. Besides
so
like
bad,
just
it's
glitches.
bad.
Yeah.
Not so bad. It's fun.
Writing bad reviews isn't fun.
No.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
Ben
it's-
writing
yeah.
cutting it is fun, is easier. Ben, I do not envy. He was agonizing over that.
Playing
thing.
it's not fun.
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt the company's feelings.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
people are gonna get pissed off at you
Right.
in the audience. Like, there's nothing good about
It's
writing
a
a bad
lose-lose.
review. Yeah.
Ben, he was having a horrible time with that one. Oh boy, I do not envy him for that. Anyway, we are well out of time.
Ended on a Christmas note or a holiday.
A Christmas story
a
makes me really
holiday
depressed.
moment. Christmas Vacation. I watch it
Sure, yeah.
every Christmas. It's really feel good because we'll put it on when we open presents as a family. So it'll be on in the background.
While you're opening presents?
Yeah, just a little background noise.
Are you a Christmas Day present opener or a Christmas Eve?
Christmas Day?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think due to my Norwegian heritage, we open all of our gifts on Christmas Eve, and then we open the stockings on Christmas Day.
Nice. But
What
isn't
about
the
you?
stockings usually smaller?
Yeah.
So you go big and then small rather than lead up to it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
My parents love to give presents. They're good at presents. They're very like extravagant gift givers. So they'd give presents from them Christmas Eve, and then Santa would deliver his shit.
I've heard of that
on
too.
Christmas
Yeah, I've heard of
morning.
that too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some people do one. They do this in the movie Scrooged. Good feel. Oh, that's a feel good, happy, sad. But
So many happy sads.
they open one on Christmas Eve and then a bunch on Christmas.
Nice.
Whatever. I just like talking to you guys. Like I could just
I
go
know.
forever. I apologize that
We've
we
been
didn't get
bouncing.
more of this. We got a lot of this comments, but not all of them. Let's do the quote challenge and get the hell out of here. What do you think? I have one. If you guys don't have one,
I've got one, but you should go for yours.
okay.
first.
All right. I have 2, so I think this one might be pretty easy. Pissed off. If I was that close to a horse's wiener, I'd be worried about being pissed on.
Blazing Saddles.
Close. Right director. Blazing
Spaceballs?
Saddles is
Princess Bride.
no. Blazing Saddles is referenced in this movie.
Damn it. It's Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Young Frankenstein.
No.
Spaceballs. Not
No.
Spaceballs. Producers.
No. Later.
I don't know.
Before Dracula Dead and Loving It. After Young Frankenstein.
What's that one? It's
pretty
about
big
being
one.
lucky, bad luck. Or,
Not that one.
No, that one.
I don't know.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Every time.
How did I forget that
and,
one?
and I tell myself, when you don't know an Ian quote, you gotta guess Robin Hood Men in Tights. Dang it.
Or Ghostbusters.
Or Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Throw those two out
Die
there.
Hard.
Yeah.
aliens.
You'll probably get it.
We have like a wheelhouse.
I went too obscure last time.
Okay.
So my quote, I'm going to try and do a kind of softball. Here we go. So there are two Darren Stevens, right? Dick York and Dick Sargent. Okay, hold on. Dick York, Dick Sargent, Sergeant York. Wow, that's really weird.
That sounds familiar.
I know you know it.
I swear.
I know you know it.
Is it a Wes Anderson thing? No.
No, but it does begin with a W. Wow, I wish I'd brought more quotes from this movie because all the rest of them are gonna really give it away.
It sounds so familiar.
I can't even
Purchase feeble cable access show and exploit them.
Okay,
Feel
yeah.
bad for whoever that is.
guess. Hudsucker Proxy.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Hudsucker Proxy's great though.
It's nice.
You have one?
Yeah, I think I've quoted this before, maybe.
That's
but I'm
okay.
gonna go again because of our esteemed guest.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that can stop the elevator? Basement.
I know that one.
Yes.
Do you know that one?
Yes. Speed.
Yes.
That elevator is like a great opening act.
It's in a very intense
Yeah.
opening.
It's like unrelated to a
Yeah.
lot of the rest of the movie.
That
but yeah.
soundtrack. Beep, 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 beep. It's so iconic.
Dude, top like movie expositions, like Speed's got to go to Die Hard. Like we studied Die Hard's first act in film school because it's like this is perfect exposition. It sets up
Yeah.
everything.
When they come in, like through the.
No, everything. The whole beginning, like him on the plane. You learn he's a cop. You learn he's got a kid and a wife. He has a reason to have no shoes on. Like it's all there. It's
awesome.
bonkers. The last name on the computer that
Gennaro.
he shouldn't even use because the stupid security guard's like, oh yeah, they're the only ones left in the building. I'm
Yeah.
like, then why did you make me use the dumb computer?
Yeah.
I'm looking for anyone in this building.
Yeah.
Oh, if they're all on the top floor, whatever.
It's a lot of environmental
30th floor.
storytelling.
Yeah. We had to
It's
see
really
that
good.
cool thing.
Yeah,
and you had to
yeah.
see the. I mean, I know why they did it, and it was great.
High tech.
I have another one. Ready?
Yeah.
This is like a famous one that's been made fun of, I think, too. Words should have sent a poet. They should have sent a poet.
I'm stumped.
I'm stumped.
Contact.
God. Dude, Contact is so intense.
Yeah.
Busey, right? Busey's son.
Is he in that?
It's not.
All I remember is Jodie Foster,
Dude,
and that the alien looks like her dad.
Busey is like the psycho that like bombs it.
Oh yeah.
Jake Busey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so intense in that movie. Love Contact.
Have you guys seen The Limey?
I have.
I love that movie. You've never seen The Limey? You would like The Limey. That's good. That's another
Clive Owen,
Soderbergh
is
and
that?
Lem Dobbs. No, it's Terrence Stamp and Fonda the Elder. No, Fonda, one of the Fondas. I always forget which one.
I think if I could talk like anyone on Earth, it'd be Terrence Stamp.
Terrence Stamp, dude.
Yeah.
In The Limey, it's incredible because he's using like insane Cockney rhyming slang the entire time, and no one knows what the hell he's talking about. So he's always like, I'm gonna go around back and have a butcher's, and everyone's like, he's like, a look, butcher's hook, look. Ah. He just like goes. They do the same bit in I think Ocean's 11, like with Don Cheadle and his like hilarious accent, like in Cockney rhyming slang.
Is
No one
Terrence,
understands what he's talking about.
Stamp still around?
Yeah.
Has
Think
he
so.
been doing work? Is he working?
Yeah, I think
Let's
so.
see a Terrence
I don't know.
Stamp movie.
Terrence Stamp, dude.
So epic.
One of my favorite short film. Damn it, what's it called? Anyway, Terrence Stamp, young Terrence Stamp. Oh, I wish I remember what it was called.
That's so funny.
Whatever.
I've only seen
The Devil's a
Terrence
Little Girl.
Stamp old. I can't imagine him young. I can't.
It's cool,
I
dude.
can't picture it.
Kind of like he's got sort of like what's his name from Clockwork Orange?
Malcolm.
Yeah. He's got kind of him
McDowell.
vibes. Yeah,
Dow.
McDowell. Yeah, he's got sort of him vibes,
Nice.
like a real creepazoid sort of, real intense energy.
Yeah.
Lorenzo, whatever. We're just going and going and going and going and
Going and
going,
going.
never stopping.
It's
Anyway,
fun.
thank you very much.
It's fun talking to you guys.
Before I go, I have to say City Lights, the Chaplin movie. See City Lights if you want
Oh,
something
I've never seen
heartwarming.
that. Dude,
There's a-
some of those early movies are just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's one of the best silent films. It's not overrated. City Lights, blind girl who needs help, and he's like a poor guy, and she falls in love with him thinking he's a millionaire, and he has to like raise money for her operation so she can see, but
Dang.
he's worried if she'll still love him when she finds out he's this poor street tramp. It's so adorable.
That sounds
It's really, really
great.
good. Yeah, it's really
It's
good.
not happy sad.
It's both. It's both. It's
So
great.
many happy sads.
Have you
I
seen?
guess happy sad's the good one though. We came to conclusion
Yeah.
in this.
Have you seen Girl Shy? It's a Buster Keaton, I believe Buster Keaton one. It's got an insane chase. Not really a chase. He's just trying to get somewhere really fast, but he uses pretty much every possible means of conveyance in like a probably like, I don't know, 12, 15 minute long sequence.
He likes riding on shit.
It's
Buster Keaton.
insanity. Yeah, he starts in a car and then it breaks down. He steals a police car, that breaks down. He steals like a bike and then a horse. And then he gets on a cable car, and then he's on like a train, and then a wagon,
This sounds
and then he's like hanging
awesome.
off the side of a bus by the like thing. It's bonkers.
That sounds rad. It's
insane.
gondola.
He was kind of like the
God.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
A little bit of
and he
back
was
then.
just doing it. Yeah, it was crazy, dude. Buster Keaton.
Dude,
I think it was
I
Buster
cannot
Keaton.
believe we went through good vibes and didn't talk about Jackie Chan.
Oh my God, Jackie Chan.
Like the ultimate good
He's
vibes.
good vibes.
Oh,
Yeah,
and like pretty much any Jackie Chan movie.
yeah.
Not all of them. Like some of them are more intense than others, but like 80s, 90s Jackie Chan is so feel good.
Rumble in the Bronx.
Rumble in the Bronx. Who Am I? First Strike.
Is Kurt Russell good vibes?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
His movies
Most of the time.
aren't always good vibes, but
I
he
love-
himself
yeah,
is good
he
vibes.
seems good
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I just thought of one. It just popped in my brain. Executive
Trouble in Little-
Decision,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
I was in a waiting room recently, and they had Sister Act 1 on, and then Sister Act 2, and then they fired up Overboard, and I was just like, my God, like, these movies.
Sister Act 2,
dude.
Back in the Habit.
Back
That's
in
a
the
good
Habit,
subtitle.
dude.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
a great subtitle.
Naked
Damn.
Gun.
23 and a third.
33 and a third.
33 and a third.
22 and a half,
Was it 22 and a half?
I think.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure. So
Those
great.
movies, dude. Yeah,
It's one.
Leslie,
It is my humor to a T. So
Really?
many puns.
That's funny.
The ultimate puns, like bingo. Pulls out the bingo card. It's so good. Just jokes like that, they get me.
Airplane.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious, and stop calling me Shirley. Anyway, thank you, Michael Huber.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you for
Wong.
having me.
Thanks you for listening and watching at home. Join us in the new year, 2019. Dang.
Whoa.
We survived. The world's
We're
still here.
We're almost
It
through.
was touch and go there for a
Yeah,
little while.
yeah.
We still exist.
I'm not
Yeah.
convinced, honestly.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Couple
We might be in a
weeks.
simulation that fired up sometime in 2016, maybe. But
Oh, there's no way we aren't, but it's still running. They haven't pulled the
yeah,
plug
yeah, yeah.
on
They
it.
haven't
Yeah.
decided that it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Anywho, patreon.com/easy allies. If you're in the $7 and up tier, you're in the film club that grants you early access to this here show, and you get to be part of the discussion. And you can have comments that I may or may not be able to get to, and will hideously pare down. But I love all of you, and reading all those comments is very cool. And the discussions are always really good in there, so I really like that. People talk to each other. It's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for watching and listening. We'll be back in January
Next year.
next year. Don't know what the theme will be. We'll piece that one together later.
Yeah,
New
maybe,
beginnings or something.
Good ideas.
Good idea.
Maybe things we're most excited for.
Oh,
Movies
sure.
we haven't seen.
Sure,
I don't know
yeah,
how we
yeah.
would do that though. Movies we haven't seen.
Blind spots.
Yeah.
I bet that one's good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's about what the discussion would be, though. Yeah, that'd be cool. Avengers 4, that'll
Looks
happen.
fun.
Yeah. Captain Marvel, hey, that's coming out in a couple months. Think they'll ever make a National Treasure 3?